Duterte, halos magkamukha lang yan kami. Kaya kami matalik magkaibigan. Kasi sometimes we descend to the level of hyperbole. Pag sinusobrahan mo ang sinasabi mo para mas epektibo, mas nakaka-catch attention ng nakikinig, pero hindi naman literally true. So, I think itong mga accusations of a so-called death squad or other terrorist actuations, dapat may reklamo sila noon pa. Noon pa yun eh. Istorya na yan noon pa. Baka 10 taon na. Kaya, ba't hindi siya inimbestiga? Ba't hindi nila pinag-filean ng mga ganong kaso? Pag sinasabi niyang napatay ko yung tao na yun, he might mean on his orders according to law. Because may mga police circulars yan on how you can kill at will, kill on sight, and so on. May mga regulasyon yan. Paano patayin ang tao na ayon sa batas. Yan ang siguro ang ibig niyang sabihin. Pero wala namang tao magsasabing ako ang nagpatay nitong kay ganito at i-describe niya mismo ang tao. That would be an admission against interest, and he will need the full panoply of judicial defense. So, I think it can be disregarded unless there is weighty evidence as hyperbole. One of those things that politicians sometimes say, sometimes in an exaggerated way, to catch the attention of the public.
So you personally don't believe, ma'am, that he's behind all these extrajudicial killings?
Unless there is evidence. I was a former judge, and I'm always careful to make a distinction between hyperbole, exaggerated way of talking, and a serious piece of evidence that's not necessarily just testimonial by testimony, or may even consist of hard evidence. So we all have to obey the rules of court, particularly the rules on evidence.
Last two questions, one from Mr. Rafi Timo, Williams.
Follow-up lang po dun sa question na rin. So amenable po kayo dun sa sinasabi ng CHR that DOJ should look into the allegations against Duterte?
Excuse me?
Yung CHR po is calling the DOJ to mag-investigate daw dun sa mga allegations. Are you amenable to that?
Well, all I can comment on, it's doing its job. It might even be overdoing its job, or it might be too late to do its job. Dahil itong mga puro-puro tungkol kay Mayor Duterte never materialized into anything, not even the filing of a complaint in court. So, the question there that remains in the minds of the supporters is, why were these accusations not taken seriously? More or less at the time when the alleged crimes were committed? Why only now that he has announced his candidacy for president? And by the way, now it becomes possibly an obstacle to his candidacy, because these are crimes against humanity, or these are crimes against human rights. So that is the first question in the mind of the vulture. Why is he being accused of crimes that appear to have happened decades ago, or at least several years ago? Even I, as a fellow presidential candidate, would ask this question.
Samantala, mapapahiya raw sa publiko ang mga makakaharap ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na kinatawan ng mga bansa o grupong mag-iimbestiga sa kanyang kampanya kontra droga. At sa gitna nito, nakiisa na rin ang International Criminal Court sa mga nagsasabing nakakabahala na ang mga patayan sa bansa. At yan po ang tinutukan ni Mark Salazar.
Labis na ikinababahala ni International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda ang mga patayan kaugnay ng iligal na droga sa Pilipinas. Kaugnay daw ito ng ulat ng pagkakapatay sa mahigit 3,000 tao sa nakalipas na 3 buwan sa gitna ng kampanya kontra droga. Ang nakababahala pa niya, ang pahayag ng matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno na tila kumukonsinti pa sa ganitong mga pagpatay. Babala ni Prosecutor Bensoda, posibleng makasuhan sa International Criminal Court ang sinumang sangkot sa mga karahasan, kabilang na ang pangungonsinti at pang-iinganyo nito sa anumang paraan. Dahil bahagi raw ang Pilipinas sa jurisdiction ng ICC, may kapangyarihan daw ang ICC na litisin ang mga krimen sa ating bansa, gaya ng genocide, crimes against humanity at war crimes. Patuloy raw na magbabantay ang ICC sa mga pangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. Sa pahayag na ito ng ICC, tila nakahanap ng kakampi si Senadora Laila de Lima sa pag-iimbestiga sa umano'y extrajudicial killing sa bansa.
The ICC can always assume jurisdiction if they find enough or sufficient basis to do so. And once it happens, presidential immunity does not apply.
Ang kailangan lang, ani de Lima, patunayang gobyerno ang utak ng halos 4,000 ng napapatay sa kampanya kontra droga.
Okay, ayaw nila ng state sponsor, di state-inspired. Pareho rin yun eh. Look at all the pronouncements, the bold pronouncements of the president, of his lieutenants like De La Rosa. And then, you know, yung mga reports about policemen themselves doing the killings.
Giit ng Malacanang, handa si Pangulong Duterte na harapin ang anumang investigasyon tungkol sa kampanya kontra droga. Hindi rin daw pinahihintulutan ng gobyerno ang mga patayan kontra droga. Marami rin daw sa mga nasawi ay napatay sa legal na police operation na iniimbestigahan ngayon. Sabi rin ni Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Charles Jose, hindi kinukonsinti ng gobyerno ang extrajudicial killings. Sa pagdalo kagabi ni Pangulong Duterte sa business conference ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, muling inimbitahan ng Pangulo na mag-imbestiga ang mga pumupuna sa kanyang kampanya kontra droga. Pero pagtitiyak ng Pangulo, mapapahiya ang mga kinatawan ng mga ito oras na nakaharap na niya.
They cannot be brighter than me. Maniwala kayo. Ikutin kita. You know, I said, I've been a trial lawyer for 8 years. I will play with you in public. I will ask 5 questions that will humiliate you. And I will ask 10 questions for you to agree with me. Bantayan ninyan, it would be an spectacle. You better watch it all. Maganda yan.
Giit ng Pangulo, hindi pulisiya ng gobyerno ang pumatay.
It was never the thing of the government at the outset yung patayan. You don't wrap around plastics all over the body. Why would the police do that? Why would you waste your time? You simply shoot him in the head once and that's it. Well, because that's for a form of torture. We do not do it. I will not also allow it.
Mark Salazar, nakatutok 24 oras.
Pansamantalang nakalaya ang nagpakilalang miyembro ng Davao Del.
Salamat po. Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, Secretary Ramon Lopez, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mr. George Barcelon, Mr. Angelito Colonna, Ambassador Benedicto Yuico, Mr. Jose Maria Concepcion, participants of the 42nd Philippine Business Conference and Expo concluding ceremony. My fellow workers in government, my beloved countrymen, I do not prepare speeches. I would rather just go ahead with the environment. But from the judging of the crowd, apart from the campaign days, this is the biggest crowd so far that I have addressed. And what is really very pleasing is that all of you have money. Excuse me. I am not into the big league. I am just an ordinary Filipino residing somewhere in Mindanao. My city is Davao City, in the midst of a not so peaceful island. And we are doing our best really to make it business friendly if we talk about money. Mindanao holds a great promise in agriculture. Problem is it is beset with the remnants of the rebellion of the yesteryears. There's still a great feeling of nationalism amongst the Muslim population. And there is always the hurt over the centuries, the injustice committed against the Moro people. So in terms of money and agriculture, we talked to Mindanao and we are trying our best really to come up with something. I have talked to the communists, and I would like to thank Norway. They are now in Oslo. The communists and the government panel are talking there, and I would like to thank the government of Norway for its good offices in these talks. I have talked to Murad, the leader of the MILF, one of the bigger factions in the secessionist movement. And despite the fact that the last time we were considering the BBL, Murad threatened to go to war if there is no BBL. By the grace of God, we were able to talk to him and said that you might want to postpone the rebellion, the war, because there is still enough time for us to talk about peace. And so with Nor Miswari of the MNLF, practically this is really the picture of what is in Mindanao and the rest of the country. I expect a successful talks with the Communist Party. And that is why the soldiers of the Republic are freed of the war fronts here vis-a-vis with the communists, the New People's Army. So I was able to move my troops to Mindanao, and that resulted really in a firefight until now, and also the reason why there was that blast in Davao City. It has always tit for tat for them, and because they are losing heavily because of the concentration of the troops that I have deployed from other areas. Wala nang NPA. At least there is no fighting right now. And because they are suffering heavy losses, there's always a time for retaliation and everything. But I said we are insisting, but this is really how it looks. I have talked to the major fronts. The problem is there is a sector in Mindanao, which until now I cannot convince to talk to us. Why? They are the scholars, and scholars do not carry guns. There are a lot of them, and in some places in Mindanao, aplenty. We cannot do anything punitive for the simple reason that they are into the religious activity. And in this country, freedom of religion to practice one is always sacred. It's embedded in the Constitution, and it goes for all religions. Now, there are a lot of them called the tabliks, and they're very good, and they're straightforward. And nothing is wrong with that if you trace history. They would be something like the Knights of Columbus for the Catholic Church. So ito yun sila, they go around preaching. And for the reason that they are preaching really what is historical and true is something which is hard to overcome.
Senator Antonio Trillanes accuses Senator Dick Gordon of covering up the role of the Duterte administration in the extrajudicial killings in its war against drugs. Trillanes says, quote, "Eventually the truth would come out, and when that day comes, Senator Gordon should be remembered as one of those who tried to cover it up." Gordon, also the Senate Justice Committee chairman, said the 6 hearings on extrajudicial killings failed to prove that President Rodrigo Duterte or the government sponsored the executions. Trillanes says, quote, "Senator Gordon cannot prove what he did not attempt to investigate in the first place." But Senator Panfilo Lacson says the probe on the Davao Death Squad killings may still be reopened if another witness can corroborate self-confessed hitman Edgar Matobato's testimony.
Interpellation, tinutulungan ko pa eh. Sinabi ko pa nga sa kanya doon sa loob ng refectory, cool ka na, ayaw mo, huwag ka mag-iinit dahil ganyan talaga, mahirap talaga. Eh pagkatapos nung tinago naman yun, ako napaka-unfair naman. Una pa, hindi pa sabi ko pa nga eh, I think it's just an oversight. I think it's just an oversight. Hindi sinasadya. Pero nung makita ko na talagang may mga testigo, tapos nung lumapit, ang nag-trigger sa akin, umalis yung testigo, samantalang may order huwag kang aalis, dahil andito pa yung mga yan. Alam nyo aalis na yan bukas. Eh bakit umalis? Dahil nagkalabasan na mayroon pa ng kaso. Eh siyempre, puputok na yan. You cannot help us all feel, si Lacson lang gusto niya, terminate na eh. Tigil na eh. Ayoko. Ba't natin terminate ito? Eh, kasabihin ng tao, tatago tayo. Eh, pero nung lumabas nga yung note na sabi nga, dinala because nako-compromise na yung security, eh dapat nagpaalam. Dapat nagpaalam. Kasi kung nagpaalam, at least magkakaalaman, di ba? At saka, andun ako sa oversight lang yan. Sige na, nasaan ba yung kaso, pakita nyo. Eh nung pagka 1+1, naging 2 eh. Diba?
Pero sir, pwedeng mag-decide kayo sir, na i-terminate na dahil din sa, sabihin nyo nga, sabi ng ibang kasama nyo, you were taken for a ride. Pero sir, ito tungkol kay Matubato, kung nagsinungaling man siya, granting nagsinungaling, paano sir yung main reason para dito sa hearings, which is yung EJK ngayong
ang nagdala kay Matubato sila eh. Ang hinahabol ko, kita naman yun, palagi ko inuulit yung gagawin ng committee, di ba? Hindi naman yun ang hinahabol ko eh. Pero ang lumabas, Matubato was the end all and be all for their case. Nung mag-i-implode na si Matubato, lahat sila sabi, to my mind as a lawyer, hindi ko dadalhin yung Davao group here, sasabihin lang na, wala kami kinalaman dyan.
So paano yun, ibig sabihin, hindi talaga yung EJK na nangyayari ng main purpose, kundi
nila.
Davao at Duterte?
Duterte pala yung target eh. Ang target ko, abay, teka, magpaliwanag nga kayo. Eh, dala ko eh, papakita ko sa inyo. Bayan by bayan, ito ang pinatay dyan. Ikaw ang provincial director. General De La Rosa, anong ginagawa mo din sa provincial commander na ito? Hindi siya gumagawa ng kanyang trabaho. Di ba? Doon dapat tayo pupunta para matigil, para mahinahon ang tao. Eh kung hindi yun ang pakay natin, ba't tayo nag-iimbestiga?
So sa tingin niyo po, Senator, may ibang agenda talaga?
Ang agenda talaga si Duterte. Ang problema naman doon sa presidente natin, napipikon siya. Sinasagot niya lahat. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, nadadapa ka sa sarili mong espada, mahimik ka na, huwag ka na magsasalita. Gawin mo lang yung trabaho para matapos tayo. Sigurado may magsusulsul dyan laban sa akin. Hindi ginagawa na senador yun. Pero na siya presidente ganito, no? Pero, mahal natin ang bansa eh. Kailangan sabihin natin dahil maraming issues sa foreign relations na napipigas siya. May mga issue na dapat natin pag-usapan.
Handa raw i-turn over ni Senator Antonio Trillanes IV si Edgar Matubato sa PNP oras na matanggap nila ang arrest warrant para sa testigo. Naglabas na kasi ng warrant of arrest ang korte sa Davao City matapos hindi makadalo sa arraignment si Matubato para sa kaso niyang illegal possession of firearms. Pakiusap ni Trillanes, hayaan siyang mismo ang personal na magdala kay Matubato sa Camp Crame para i-turn over kay PNP Director General Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Yan ay para maiwasan daw ang gulo na pwedeng mangyari kung aarestuhin pa si Matubato. Dagdag pa ni Trillanes, walang intensyon na hindi dumalo sa arraignment si Matubato. Hindi raw siya nakapunta dahil hindi niya alam na meron pala siyang arraignment. Kahit ang abogado niya, hindi raw ito alam. Handa rin daw si Trillanes na bayaran ang piyansa para kay Matubato. Sa ngayon ay si Trillanes ang nangangalaga at nagbibigay ng proteksyon kay Matubato na nagpakilalang hitman ng Dimanoy Davao Death Squad.
Ako ang naghahawak ng kanyang custody and security. So pwede niyong ipadaan sa akin yung warrant of arrest at ako na ang magpapaabot sa kanya para hindi nyo na kailangan hanapin pa at wala nang untoward incident.
Interpretation, tinutulungan ko pa eh. Sinabi ko pa nga sa kanya doon sa loob ng refectory, cool ka na, kaya mo, huwag ka mag-iinit dahil ganyan talaga, mahirap talaga. Eh pagkatapos nung tinago naman yun, ako napaka-unfair naman. Una pa, hindi pa sabi ko pa nga eh, I think it's just an oversight. I think it's just an oversight. Hindi sinasadya. Pero nung makita ko na talagang may mga testigo, tapos nung lumapit, ang nag-trigger sa akin, umalis yung testigo, samantala may order, huwag kang aalis, dahil andito pa yung mga yan. Alam nyo aalis na yan bukas. Eh bakit umalis? Dahil nagkalabasan na meron pa ng kaso. Eh siyempre, puputok na yan. You cannot help us all feel, si Lacson lang gusto niya, terminate na eh. Tigil na. Ito ko, ayoko. Ba't natin terminate ito? Eh, sasabihin ng tao, tatago tayo. Eh, pero nung lumabas nga yung note na sabi nga, dinala because mako-compromise daw yung security, eh dapat nagpaalam. Dapat nagpaalam. Kasi kung nagpaalam, at least magkakaalaman, di ba? At saka, andun ako sa oversight lang yan. Sige na, nasaan ba yung kaso, pakita nyo. Eh, nung pagka 1+1, naging 2 eh. Diba?
Pero sir, pwedeng mag-decide kayo sir na i-terminate na dahil dun sa sabihin nyo nga, sabi ng ibang kasama nyo, you were taken for a ride. Pero sir, ito tungkol kay Matubato, kung nagsinungaling man siya, granted nagsinungaling, paano sir yung main reason para dito sa hearings, which is yung EJK ngayong
ang nagdala kay Matubato sila eh. Ang hinahabol ko, kita naman yun, palagi ko inuulit yung gagawin ng committee, di ba? Hindi naman yun ang hinahabol ko eh. Pero ang lumabas, Matubato was the end all and be all for their case. Nung mag-i-implode na si Matubato, lahat sila sabi, you know, to my mind as a lawyer, hindi ko dadalhin yung Davao group here. Sasabihin lang na, wala kami kinalaman dyan.
So paano yun? Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga yung EJK na nangyayari ngayon ang main purpose, kundi
nila
Davao at Duterte.
Duterte pa rin ang target eh. Ako, ang target ko, abay, teka, magpaliwanag nga kayo. Eh, dala ko, papakita ko sa inyo. Bayan by bayan, ito ang pinatay dyan. Ikaw ang provincial director. General De La Rosa, anong ginagawa mo din sa provincial commander na ito? Hindi siya gumagawa ng kanyang trabaho. Di ba? Doon dapat tayo pupunta para matigil, para mahinawan ang tao. Eh kung hindi yun ang pakay natin, ba't tayo nag-iimbestiga?
So sa tingin niyo po, Senator, may ibang agenda talaga?
Ang agenda talaga si Duterte. Ang problema naman doon sa presidente natin, napipikon siya. Sinasagot niya lahat. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, nadadapa ka sa sarili mong espada, mahimik ka na, huwag ka na magsasalita. Gawin mo lang yung trabaho para matapos tayo. Sigurado may magsusulsul dyan laban sa akin. Hindi ginagawa na senador yun. Pero na siya presidente ganito, no? Pero Mahal natin ang bansa eh. Kailangan sabihin natin dahil maraming issues sa foreign relations na napipigas siya. Mayroong mga issue na dapat natin pag-usapan.
Committee on Justice and Human Rights, this meeting is now in order, and I will ask Senator Lacson to convene his own committee.
On the part of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, this hearing is hereby called to order.
Thank you, Ms. We call to order the hearing today on the Committee on Justice and Human Rights jointly with the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs after having suspended the hearing last 22nd September. This is a continuation of the resolutions and the privileged speeches made by several senators. There's a Senate Resolution number 9 by Senator Leila de Lima concerning the recent and rampant killings, extrajudicial killings, and summary executions, and to strengthen accountability of law enforcers. That's the highway upon which we are going to traverse in this investigation. At the same time, we have Senate Resolution number 151 by Senator Antonio Trillanes III on the alleged extrajudicial or summary killings purportedly committed by the Davao Death Squad, and in order to have the protection of people's basic human rights, and also in pursuance of the campaign against terrorism, drugs, and street crimes. Oh, the fourth. I'm sorry. You mean there are 4 of you? I stand corrected. Let the minutes reflect that Senator Antonio Trillanes is the 4th among several Antonio Trillaneses. Inasmuch as I am told by the committee secretariat that, and because of the motion made by Senator Leila de Lima, the Davao police are here. And these are the people that have been mentioned in various occasions by different sources, including the senators and including one witness here. We're happy that they have arrived, and let me just acknowledge some of the personalities here that have arrived, and we thank them. Good morning to everyone. First and foremost, the General De La Rosa, Ronald De La Rosa, and General Eleuterio of IAS, Internal Affairs. Is he here? Yes. And of course, Undersecretary Cui. I'm sorry, I should have acknowledged you first. Civilian authority being supreme over the police and the military. Undersecretary of Local Government, and of course, Director La Peñas of the Dangerous Drugs Law, Dangerous Drugs Board, and of course, PIDEA. I'm sorry, PIDEA, and Director Dante Gueran at the National Bureau of Investigation, Director. We also have Police Chief Superintendent Manuel Garlan of Davao, and of course, thank you again to Chief Superintendent Marquez, Augusto Marquez Jr., and also Bartolome Ricardo, Superintendent Bartolome Ricardo of the Philippine Army. And there will be other witnesses that will come over again. But before we call in the witnesses, those of you who have not taken your oaths, will you please stand up so that we can administer the oath? Comsec.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the inquiry? You may sit down.
Thank you. Let it be reflected that Colonel Bacardo and Police Chief Superintendent Manuel Garlan have taken their oaths of office. Not only oaths of office, but their oath here. Again, I reiterate the previous rules that we in the committee have agreed upon. There are 2 lecterns here for all the committee members to use upon recognition. The chair will be We'll give wide latitude to the questions given. You have 10 minutes to ask your questions, but the answers, we will give more than 10 minutes. It will not be counted. The answers will not be counted on your time, so that there is wide latitude. Again, I reiterate that if there is need for reiteration or to emphasize or to tell the whole story, the senator will be given, and I'm sure you have given me wide latitude previously to continue the questions. Let me just do this properly so everybody's on the same page. Having said all that, we want to make sure that the committee respect, and I know that all the senators will act with dignity and with candor and with the utmost discipline, so that we can make a very good account of the Senate investigation. The Senate is a very respected body. I don't think I have to bang the gavel and call anybody to order. If there is any disorder, I will bang the gavel so that we can suspend and we can deliberate in private, so we can handle it correctly as we do it in the Senate. Should be no sign of emotion or any sign or indication of parliamentary misconduct. Having said that, Mr. President, I would like to call on, I think I saw the chairman, Senator De Lima raise her hand. Senator De Lima, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to everyone. Just a brief manifestation for the record, for the sake of accuracy, because it was mentioned earlier by the good chair that I was the one, this representation was the one who moved for the issuance of an invitation and or subpoena to the members or the alleged members of the Davao Death Squad, as mentioned by the witness. Based on the transcripts of the September 15, 2016 hearing, which was the first hearing attended by Mr. Edgar Matubato, it was in fact Senator Trillanes who moved for the issuance of an invitation or subpoena. May I just quote, "At any rate, I would first move that we subpoena Vice Mayor Paulo Duterte and all the members of the Davao Death Squad as mentioned by our witness, especially those belonging to the Philippine National Police and the NBI." And I just reiterated that motion during the last hearing of September 22. I just invited the attention of the body as to the invitation as requested by somebody else. So it turns out that it was, in fact, Senator Trillanes and not this representation who asked for such invitation. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I also make a manifestation?
Let me just address the manifestation made by Senator De Lima. I think I was very clear that all these witnesses were invited by virtue of the privileged speeches as well, which contain your motions. So I think I will stand by my previous remarks. I also want to make sure that when we call these witnesses, this is also by virtue of the resolution made by Senator Trillanes. Now, on the motion, is that which you say is a reiteration that was never carried last time, because I think there was an objection by Senator Subiri. But let me just point out that the committee will later on talk among each other as to whether we will invite them. In the first place, insofar as the Davao Death Squad, there is no finding yet that the Davao Death Squad exists. There is a lot of talk, and that's why we brought them here, to find out whether, in fact, there is an existence of a Davao Death Squad. So it is very difficult for the chair, and as well, I'm sure, with my confrere, Senator Lacson, to, I hope I am not speaking out of turn, Senator Lacson, to invite the Davao Death Squad, because nobody's going to come up and show up just like that. It's not been publicly incorporated in the Securities and Exchange Commission, and there's no effort on the part of anybody to say I'm a member of the Davao Death Squad, and therefore I cannot accede to that second motion unless there is testimony to prove the existence of the Davao Death Squad or admission by any of the witnesses here that such a squad exists and that the following people are members of the Davao Death Squad. Of course, all these statements would have to stand the scrutiny of investigation by the senators before we act. We act with judiciousness here, and consideration for the rights of everybody, and we act in the interest of truth. So having said that, I now recognize Senator Cayetano. Go ahead, Senator Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, at magandang umaga po sa atin lahat. Mr. Chairman, you actually already stated what I wanted to manifest, that we are inviting people who have been mentioned. It is the tradition of the Senate that they can defend themselves here. It is the tradition of the Senate that in accordance with the Constitution, a person can confront his accusers. But to call them as members of the Davao Death Squad would be having an unfair conclusion at this time. So Colonel Dionisio Abude, retired of the Heinous Crime Division, SPO3 Las Cañas, who Mr. Matubato continually referred to, PO3 Ayaw and PO3 Jumawan, and others are here today because they were named and invited. If need so, Mr. Chairman, I'm willing to present them, not to attest to the truth of their testimony, but to give them a chance to refute the testimony, to refute or to accede to meaning to confirm or deny the testimony of Mr. Matubato. And lastly, Mr. President, as I have mentioned at the start of the hearing, the Duterte administration campaign against drug is not a campaign to kill people indiscriminately, not to get rid of criminals extrajudicially, but is a campaign to save the nation and save the generations from drugs. And these policemen will be able to testify how it was done in Davao. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senator Lacson.
Would it be proper and correct to refer to them as members of the Heinous Crime Division? And I'd like to address that to Senator Cayetano or to Chief Superintendent Gerlan, who's the Director of Police Regional Office 11. Would it be the correct and proper nomenclature, if I may say so?
Your Honor, they are not all members of the Heinous Crimes Division, so we can refer them maybe as former members of Police Regional Office 11 in general.
Thank you. You say former members. That means to say that they have either retired or have been reassigned to other duties.
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside of Davao City.
If I may give an accounting of the 23 invited, 22 are actually named because one has a double entry. Out of the 22, 12 are still in the active service, and 10 of these are still with the Police Regional Office 11. One is with the PSPG, and one is with the Aviation Security Group, and 10 have already retired, Your Honor.
So, in effect, how many are going to be presented here today?
We have 16 present, including 4 of the retired personnel, sir.
So 4 have retired, and of the 12, they are still in Davao or have been reassigned elsewhere?
10 out of the 12 still in the active service are in Davao, but they are present today, sir.
Thank you. All right, so that is very clear. These are policemen that have been assigned in various occasions, either in the Heinous Crimes Division or in other positions, and some of them have retired and some of them are still on duty, not necessarily with the Heinous Crimes Division. Having said that, in response to Senator Cayetano, I will give him the proper time, not necessarily as a presenter of the witness. In fact, one of the things that was worrying both Senator Lacson and myself, sino ba ang magpipresenta sa witness dito? Because ang nag-imbita ay sila Senator De Lima. Hindi naman nagbinta. Ang reference namin ay yung motion at saka yung privilege speech. Kaya kung hindi nila gagawin yun, I suppose kailangan isalang natin ang testigo at magtatanong tayong lahat ngayong araw na ito. At kung makakatulong si Senator Cayetano, kung gusto niyang mag-clarify or he may have some information that we don't have, I will give him wide latitude. Okay? Having said that, we shall now proceed to the hearing per se. I want to remind the COMSEC, because I asked him earlier that there were requests for pending documents, pending requests for documents. I want to know from him if those documents have all been submitted.
Yes, sir.
Can you please go to the microphone? Because I would want to have a senator say, we requested and that they were ignored.
Yes, sir. These documents have been submitted already. We have marked the documents annexes A to L.
All right, and these documents are available for every senator
Yes,
to produce,
for-
and they will be distributed accordingly. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they have not been distributed right now.
Yet. Sir,
What is yes?
Sir, we're working on.
What is
of the
yes?
address-
Have you distributed them or not?
Not yet. We're depending on the request of the senator, sir, because we have problems with the manpower and the facilities.
I
and the
don't think we
equipment.
have problems with the manpower. It's just a question of your execution of this. The Senate President has given me latitude to, for you to ask other members of other employees here in the Senate for you to be assisted, because I raised that point, because there are voluminous documents. So please make do.
Yes,
Lead.
sir. Yes, sir. We will do that.
All right, thank you. I will expect that in fairness to the senators, that they all are given the necessary documents that have been asked for, so that they can produce and study them and be the basis for questions and judgment. Having said that, we shall call our witnesses now. Is that okay with everybody? Are there any questions? Who shall we call first? Senator Cayetano, I heard you say a certain colonel in charge of the Heinous Crime Division. Or maybe I should ask Chief Superintendent Garland.
Sir, may we request that former Senior Superintendent Abude be the first to present?
Chief Superintendent Apulit.
Police Senior Superintendent Abude, sir.
Active duty.
Retired already, sir.
Retired. Abude, A-B-U-D-E. In Bisaya, it used to be Abode. It became Abude.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Abude. Committee Sec, please call the witness here and should they sit up front here. You notice while we were waiting for him that we place a special podium for the special table for the witness, so that nobody can say that he's being coached. Colonel Abude? Sergeant at Arms? I would require that a lawyer be provided him. If he has brought a lawyer, that would be appreciated if he would he would present himself. And
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Senator Trillanes, while we're waiting.
based on the agreement last hearing, the witness, Mr. Edgar Matubato, was supposed to identify the other officers.
We will come to that. We're not at that moment. If you will recall, there was no agreement. I merely said I did not dismiss him. Precisely, I did not dismiss him just in case we will lead him. When the proper time comes, if you request, after testimony has been made, that would be more timely than now.
Well, if we're going to introduce these officers one by one, then that would preempt the whole thing, Mr. Chairman.
Mr.
I believe
Chairman.
it would be proper for him to identify these officers first, again as another test of credibility. Then we can make them present whatever they want
Mr.
to
Chairman,
present.
I may help.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, before the hearing started, I asked if they have a lawyer, and I asked the lawyer about certain stipulations, and he said they're willing to stipulate that they know Mr. Matubato and Mr. Matubato knows them. So that will do away with the identification because they're willing to admit that. But I'd rather they say it themselves once they get there. The request is just that they be given the opportunity to testify freely before they're confronted. Just because there were 3 previous hearings wherein their names was continuously battered, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Senator Cayetano. You will recall that both the chairman of these committees talked about an executive session so that they can have a lineup. In fact, I asked Senator Lacson, and he graciously accepted at that time that the witness be there at the lineup. But in fairness to the policemen, we wanted that so that they would not be unnecessarily ridiculed or their families could be, put to embarrassment. These are people who serve, and as far as I'm concerned, the general rule is that they do their duty. They're given that latitude. So having said that, anyway, all these people have been mentioned The names that you have invited have been mentioned, and if they have not been mentioned, then you can call the attention of the chair. And if we need to identify let him be identified, then you can the chair will entertain a motion at that time.
Okay. Well, Mr. Chairman, anyway, the suggestion came from the chair, and I was just reminding. Yes, but if now Senator Cayetano is saying that yung mga na-identify ni Mr. Matubato na mga PNP officers ay umaamin na kilala nila si Mr. Matubato, and that would do away with the identification process, and I would be satisfied by that. Pero sinasabi ko lang, Mr. Chairman, na when this idea was proposed, it was supposed to be a test of the credibility of Mr. Matubato. Ngayon, kung inaamin na ng mga police mismo, we should be fair enough to say na nagsasabi ng totoo si Mr. Matubato, Mr. Chairman.
Please do not put the cart before the horse.
Well, no, at least as far as the identification
the chair would like to request Senator Trillanes not to make conclusions because that's why we have an investigation here.
But there is a stipulation, Mr. Chairman, at least as far as the identification of the officers are
In
concerned.
point of law, when a stipulation is made, that is to save time.
Yes.
It is not supposed to prove the case.
No. I was not talking about the case, Mr. Chairman. I was talking about the identification. Kasi sinasabi yon na papuntahin natin yung mga police para ma-identify as a test of credibility.
Well,
ngayon kung inaamin na, then we should also be man enough to say that as far as that is concerned, then nagsasabi ng totoo si Mr. Matubato.
I will cut this conversation right away. There is no need for it. The proper time to ask the witness is that, are you the same person referred to by Mr. Matubato? And I will suggest that you ask that question, and I will give you that right to do so. Pag humarap yung testigo dyan, tanay mo, ikaw ba yung sinasabi ni Matubato? Pag sinabi niyang oo, it doesn't prove anything except that the man exists. Tandaan natin, Davao yan. Makakakilala lahat yan. Kilala ng mga pulis yung mga hoodlum, kilala nila yung mga testigo. Nag-bury naman ako, kaya alam ko yung sinasabi ko rito. So give me some latitude. Proceed, please. Is the witness here already? Would you please ask him to move forward?
The Department of Justice strongly denies admitting high-profile inmate JB Sebastian into the Witness Protection Program. This after Sebastian's lawyer, attorney Eduardo Arriba, reportedly stated that his client is now under government protection. Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre previously said they don't believe the entire testimony of Sebastian, even though they agree with this allegation that former Justice Secretary Laila de Lima was his protector in selling illegal drugs inside the New Bilibid prison. Last Tuesday, de Lima and Sebastian were among the 8 respondents charged with drug trafficking in relation to the Bilibid drugs trade.
No witnesses by the Commission on Human Rights or CHR were presented on the last hearing of the Senate today on the alleged cases of extrajudicial killings. Joyce Balancho will tell us why.
Senator Laila de Lima and Senator Richard Gordon were caught again on a heated debate during the resumption of the Senate inquiry on the alleged cases of extrajudicial killings. This after Senator Laila de Lima manifested a motion during the committee hearing for Commission on Human Rights Chair Chito Gascon to be allowed to explain the stand of CHR following the tirades by Senator Richard Gordon. Senator Gordon is furious over CHR Commissioner Roberto Cadiz after the latter called him coward when he suspended the hearing on the alleged cases of summary executions. Senator de Lima also moved to defer the discussion of the committee on the proposed bill on the imposition of death penalty.
You cannot control this the way you controlled it last time. I don't want to fight with you. I respect you. But let me just point out, I am not going to veer.
There is a particular matter at hand, so...
Excuse me, what are you trying to tell me?
I move that we defer the taking up of the death penalty bill.
Is there a second? There appears to be no second motion, so the motion is overruled.
Gordon clarifies that he is not demanding apology from the CHR, but insists that the commission should dissociate itself from unauthorized remarks from Cadiz. Though he was not invited, CHR Chair Chito Gascon was present today.
Yung pahayag po ni Commissioner Cadiz last week ay hindi po pahayag ng kabuuan ng komisyon. Opinion po niya yon.
Senator Gordon, however, maintains that no witnesses from CHR will be presented. The hearing proceeded to the discussion on the police operations being investigated by the PNP Internal Affairs Service. At the end of the hearing, CHR Chair Gascon was given a chance to speak, and he then expressed his support to the investigation being conducted by the Senate. Joyce Balancho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
After 6 Senate hearings on alleged cases of extrajudicial killings, Committee Chair Senator Richard Gordon says they have not found any proof that rampant killings are state-sponsored. Joyce Balancho is back to tell us why.
The joint hearing of the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights and the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs on the alleged cases of extrajudicial killings has been concluded today. Justice Committee Chair Senator Richard Gordon says they are now preparing the committee report, which is likely to be finished and be publicly available on Monday. He says after the 6 sessions of the Senate, they have concluded that the reported killings under the Duterte administration are not state-sponsored. He maintains these are not a result of the president orders to eliminate drugs in the country, and that blame should not be put to President Rodrigo Duterte but on the prevalence of drugs in the country.
The president is inspired to kill drugs because he really means to eradicate drugs. But I don't think he's really gonna push anybody to say kill. Kapabayaan. Lahat. Before, the moment the first drug hit this country and we didn't do anything about it, lalaganap at lalaganap yan.
In the committee report, Senator Gordon will include the testimonies of witnesses presented in the previous hearing. However, Edgar Matubato's statements will no longer be part of it. He says Matubato lost his credibility due to his inconsistent statements and attempts to implicate then Davao Mayor Rodrigo Duterte while concealing some pertinent information about him.
Nakita nyo, hinuli siya doon sa illegal possession of firearms. Meron pala sa kaso lumabas dito, hindi ko alam yun. At tinurn over na siya doon sa PNP. May perjury doon. Pinagsama-sama mo yan, there is connectivity na tila there really is an effort to try and pin down Mayor Duterte on this battle.
Meanwhile, the committee report will also include possible recommendations on laws that can be passed. Gordon says there should be a law that will expedite the investigation on police operations that result in deaths of persons being investigated. The PNP Internal Affairs Service, or IAS, reveals that from January to October this year, they have investigated only more than 1,000 cases of such police operations. 300 from these were considered dropped and closed cases due to insufficiency of evidence, while only 28 cases were recommended to proceed to summary hearings. Once they have proven the administrative liability of policemen, they will recommend their possible suspension, demotion, or termination. Nonetheless, they have not yet filed cases against any erring officer as of this moment. While the PNP-IAS wants to look into all cases being forwarded to them, they say they lack resources and personnel to do the job.
We are only about 600 IAS personnel, and out of the 600, there are only 200 investigators nationwide.
Aside from expediting the investigation of cases, Gordon says they will recommend providing bigger budget to the PNP so they can also use gadgets such as body cameras during police operations. Joyce Balancho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
A political analyst believes that the decision of President Rodrigo Duterte to cut the alliance with the United States of America is the right thing and good for the country. Retired Brigadier General Victor Corpus says that the Philippines will be safe from war if the conflict of America with other countries like China will start. He adds that the country might also be the target of America's enemies, especially if the Philippines is one of its known allies.
There is the danger that we will be involved in either a conventional war or a nuclear war. Philippine adoption of an independent foreign policy is very important. that can affect our survival as a nation.
President Rodrigo Duterte orders the creation of a presidential task force that will focus on the resolution of abuses against the members of the media in the country. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Threats against members of the media via online can now be fought through the Presidential Task Force on Violence Against Media Workers. This after Malacanang formulates the implementing rules and regulations of Administrative Order No. 1 signed by President Rodrigo Duterte on October 11, 2016.
Binuo ng ating Pangulo itong Presidential Task Force on Violations of the Right to Life, Liberty, and Security of the Members of the Media. So nandyan po yung security of the members of the media.
Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II will take the chairmanship of the task force. He is joined by Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar, DILG Secretary Ismael Sueno, Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana, Solicitor General Jose Calida, AFP Chief of Staff General Ricardo Visaya, PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa, NBI Director Dante Heran, and Presidential Human Rights Committee. The Commission on Human Rights as well as the Ombudsman and various media organizations will serve as observers and resource persons.
Tutulungan natin yung pagbigay ng hustisya doon sa mga unresolved cases, yung mga hindi pa na papailan ng kaso. At bibilisan din natin ang proseso para mas lalong matulungan sa lalong mas madaling panahon yung mga kapatid natin sa industriya.
It can be recalled that in 2015, a report of the International Federation of Journalists says that the Philippines is the deadliest country in Southeast Asia for journalists. The increasing number of media killings had prompted the president to create the said task force. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
The segregation of detainees with illegal drug cases has sparked a protest in Manila City Jail. Roderick Mendoza will tell us why.
At least 35 detainees and 4 jail personnel were injured in a protest initiated by a gang in Manila City Jail. Several members of Batang City Jail started a noise barrage this morning. A commotion ensued when jail guards moved in to control the situation. Some inmates fell from the roof and the stones were hurled on the jail guards.
We have to employ the necessary amount of force naman para i-control yung situation.
Jail officials claim Batang City Jail protested the segregation of their gang mates who are facing drug-related cases.
Ang hindi lang po sumunod dito ay yung Batang City Jail. Dahil po ang plano kasi dito at kasulukuyang ginagawa, ongoing po, ang transfer ng mga drug-related cases. Siniseparate po natin yung mga drug-related cases sa ibang dorm. At yung non-drug po ay sa ibang dorm din. Ngayon, inumpisahan na rin po natin ang pagbuwag sa mga pangkat.
Kung yun po ang magiging dahilan para sa pagbabago, sangayon po kami, Rosa.
Despite the incident, segregation of detainees will proceed as directed by BJMP leadership. With this, jail officials say monitoring inmates involved in illegal drugs will be easier. Of the almost 4,000 detainees in Manila City Jail, more than 2,000 have pending drugs cases. The situation inside the jail has already normalized, but visitations are not allowed in the gang's dormitory until the investigation is completed. Gang leaders who led the protest risk being transferred to Manila City Jail Annex in Taguig City.
Kung kailangan nating kasuhan po sila, kung mayroon tayong makita, kakasuhan po natin.
Roderick Mendoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Tinanggap na ni United Nations Special Rapporteur on Summary Executions Agnes Calmar ang imbitasyon ni Pangulong Digong na mag-imbestiga sa drug-related killings sa bansa. Narito ang report ni Rosalie Cos.
Sa pamamagitan ng media reports. Nakarating agad ang imbitasyon ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kay Agnes Callamard, ang kasalukuyang United Nations Special Rapporteur on Summary Executions. Ayon sa kanyang Twitter account, tinatanggap niya ang imbitasyon at hinihintay na lamang na makarating mismo sa kanya ang liham sa pamamagitan ng official channels. Si Callamard ay una nang nagpahayag na hindi sapat na dahilan ng pagsugpo sa iligal na droga upang wag sumunod sa international legal obligation ang isang pamahalaan ni alisin ang pananagutan laban sa mga pagpaslang. September 26, 2016 ang ipadala ng Malacanang sa pamamagitan ng opisina ni Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea ang formal na imbitasyon para sa UN Rapporteur. Pinakiusapan din ng Malacanang si Callamard na imbestigahan maging ang pagpaslang sa mga pulis na nagsasagawa ng legitimate operation laban sa mga drug suspect. Bukod dito, nakasaad din sa liham ang paggigiit sa karapatan ni Pangulong Duterte na mabigyan ng oportunidad na ihain ang kanyang sariling mga katanungan tulad ng kung bakit Pilipinas ang focus ng mga investigasyon ng UN samantalang may ibang bansang laganap ang pagkitil ng mga inosente at walang kalaban-labang mga individual. Hiling din ng Malacanang, lahat ng magiging subject ng mga katanungan ay kinakailangang manumpa na ang isasagot ay batay lamang at naaayon sa katotohanan. Handa naman si Pangulong Duterte na harapin ang UN Rapporteur sa oras na magtungo ito sa Pilipinas upang mag-imbestiga.
It shall be open to the public. Ask me any question under the sun. The only thing that I ask of you is to afford me the right to be heard. And then allow me some questions so that I would know that you are not heaping lies on me based on the report of the... I said it was a political issue.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Salamat po. Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, Secretary Ramon Lopez, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mr. George Barcelon, Mr. Angelito Colonna, Ambassador Benedicto Yuico, Mr. Jose Maria Concepcion, participants of the 42nd Philippine Business Conference and Expo concluding ceremony. My fellow workers in government, my beloved countrymen, I do not prepare speeches. I would rather just go ahead with the environment. But from the judging of the crowd, apart from the campaign days, this is the biggest crowd so far that I have addressed. And what is really very pleasing is that all of you have money. Excuse me. I am not into the big league. I am just an ordinary Filipino residing somewhere in Mindanao. My city is Davao City, in the midst of a not so peaceful island. And we are doing our best really to make it business friendly if we talk about money. Mindanao holds a great promise in agriculture. The problem is it is beset with the remnants of the rebellion of the yesteryears. There's still a great feeling of nationalism amongst the Muslim population. And there is always the hurt over the centuries, the injustice committed against the Moro people. So in terms of money and agriculture, we have talked to Mindanao and we are trying our best really to come up with something. I have talked to the communists and I would like to thank Norway. They are now in Oslo. The communists and the government panel are talking there. And I would like to thank the government of Norway for its good offices in these talks. I have talked to Murad, the leader of the MILF, one of the bigger factions in the secessionist movement, and despite the fact that the last time we were considering the BBL, Murad threatened to go to war if there is no BBL. By the grace of God, we were able to talk to him and said that you might want to postpone the rebellion, the war, because there is still enough time for us to talk about peace. And so with Norm Iswari of the MNLF, practically this is really the picture of what is in Mindanao and the rest of the country. I expect a successful talks with the Communist Party, and that is why the soldiers of the Republic are freed of the war fronts here vis-a-vis with the Communists, the New People's Army. So I was able to move my troops to Mindanao, and that resulted really in a firefight until now, and also the reason why there was that blast in Davao City. It is always tit for tat for them, and because they are losing heavily because of the concentration of the troops that I have deployed from other areas. Wala nang NPA. At least there is no fighting right now. And because they are suffering heavy losses, there's always a time for retaliation and everything. But I said we are insisting, but this is really how it looks. I have talked to the major fronts. The problem is there is a sector in Mindanao which until now I cannot convince to talk to us. Why? They are the scholars, and scholars do not carry guns. There are a lot of them, and in some places in Mindanao, plenty. We cannot do anything punitive for the simple reason that they are into the religious activity. And in this country, freedom of religion to practice one is always sacred. It's embedded in the Constitution, and it goes for all religions. Now, there are a lot of them called the tabliks, and they're very good, and they're straightforward. And nothing is wrong with that if you trace history. They would be something like the Knights of Columbus for the Catholic Church. So ito yun sila, they go around preaching. And for the reason that they are preaching really what is historical and true is something which is hard to overcome.
Gobernador, mga provincial board members, na pwedeng gawin para ma-operationalize ito, ang mga pulisiya na maaring ipatupad upang makamit ang targets. Ang mga listahan na nabuo sa Workshop 1 ay siya namang naging basihan para sa sumunod na workshop. Ang Workshop 2 ay ang consolidation ng municipal at city commitments upang mabuo ang provincial commitments. Bawat probinsya ay may report sa kanilang performance targets, strategies at ang mga pulisiya na maaring ipatupad upang makamit ang targets. Presentation of plans. Base sa mga report na ito, nais kong pangunahan ang paglahad ng mga plano at commitments ng ating mga local chief executives sa Northern at Southern Luzon clusters sa loob ng kanilang termino. Primero, bawasan ang bilang ng mga drug users hanggang 90% by the end of 2016. pag-ibayuhin ang anti-drug operations sa mga barangay by the end of their term at magpatayo ng mga treatment at rehabilitation centers by the end of their term at mag-organisa ng masa-masid teams sa bawat barangay by the end of this year. Ang mga LGUs ay nagtipon-tipon upang ipahayag ang kanilang commitment na magsagawa ng mga karapat-dapat na hakbang at makipagtulungan sa ating national government tungo sa mapayapa at maunlad na Pilipinas. Makaasa kayo na ang DILG, ULAP at iba't ibang local government leagues at federations at mga national government agencies ay patuloy na tutulong at subaybayan at susubaybay upang maisakatuparan ng mga LGUs ang kanilang mga plano at commitments na inilahad sa dialogong ito. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Salamat. Kindly sit down. I dispense with the acknowledgements. May I address everybody, my co-workers in government, ladies and gentlemen. Alam natin lahat ang problema sa Pilipinas. And in my generation, ito ang pinakamabigat. I'm on the sunset days of my life. I am politically dead after this term. I have nowhere to go but to retire and perhaps in the fullness of God's time, die early so that I can rest. Ganito yan. I'd like to just give you a resume of myself para you'd know where I come from. Before I became mayor, I was a prosecutor in Davao City. I was doing trial work for almost 8 years, and I became an OIC vice mayor, eventually to run in 1988 elections. Therefrom, di naman ako ng but I've been there for 23 years as mayor, congressman and vice mayor to my daughter, Inday. All told, it will be something like 40 years in the government service. Nung fiscal ho ako, and because that was near about the time when Shabu was making its entrance in the social scene, may marami ho akong kaso na na-dismiss because at that time, pagkatapos lang ng martial law because of the Cory administration, may mga kaso siguro na about 32 of them I remember, talagang bumagsak. Because at that time, there was only one forensic analyst, a chemical engineer actually assigned sa itong forensics ngayon. And he had to take care of so many provinces under Region 11. So at one time, cases were called, but all the time, he's never there for the simple reason that he has to be in this province, ang supina na una, and he cannot travel alone at that time except to wait for a convoy, either of the police of the Philippine Constabulary at that time before he can travel. Kasi pag natsambahan ka ng NPA noon, either the buses are stopped suddenly, there's a checkpoint, and if you are there, goodbye. Noon, talagang pag nahuli ka, wala na yan. And I know that because I used to talk to them and hinihingi ko minsan ng balato yung iba. But still, lalo na pag, even now, good that we have this moratorium, the respite of the fighting. Yung pakisabi na, yung alam ninyo yung kayong may contact sa NPA, pagka-intelligence officer yan, diretso yan. Wala nang hinihinuhan na yan. Hindi mo naman, if you ask them, they would say, Huwag na lang yun, Mayor, tapos na yun. Basta intelligence officer, diretso yan. Diretso yan. Kaya tell them na lumaban na ang gusto. Kasi ganon ang, even na right before the ceasefire. Noong nag-ceasefire tayo, I declared one earlier to show good faith on the part of the government. Inambos naman ng buang yung mga sundalo sa Surigao banda, kaya ako nagalit. Then nag-away kami ni Sison, professor, kilala kami. Nagmurahan kami, sabi ko, ikaw, nagpakita na nga ako ng magandang loob but eventually they are now in Oslo talking about peace. So, marami akong bakante na sundalo at mai-deploy ko sa Mindanao because doon sa Holo, we are battling it out with them. Ganito yan I am not a wartime president. I was elected in an environment of where democracy was being played out. I am a president that would seek peace for my land. Wala akong ambisyon magpatuloy itong lahat na gera because it could not only zap the human Filipino spirit but everybody. Lahat and hatred would continue and continue and continue. Nakapag-usap ako sa NPA, NDF, sila, okay na tayo. I talked to Murad, I talked to Jafar, and yung Central Committee, I got a response positive. Despite the fact that Murad earlier said that he'll go to war if there is no BBL. Sabi ko, sir, ano muna yan? Sabi ko, sayang ang buhay. Sayang talaga. And si Nur naman, I just talked to him coming over here. And kung sinong kilala ni Gor, the line was very bad. But I heard him saying that's going to go to me in Davao, but that's to bring his troops as security. I could not explain to him that that would not be possible anymore. Unang-una, he is facing charges. And if at all he is allowed to go out, lalo na hindi siya pwede magdala ng sarili niyang armas. Ako wala akong ano dyan. Maski dalhin mo yung kanyon mo lahat. That doesn't really bother me. But the fact is the military and the police will not allow it. And I won't run roughshod with them if I insist it my way. They will obey, but they would take it as a bad indication of what's in my mind. Huwag na lang natin guluhin. I will call him, masama ang linya pag-araw sa Hulo So I'll call him tonight and just tell him, I'll fetch you if you want. Ako na mismo ang pupunta ng Hulo, tapos dalhin kita sa Davao, o doon tayo mag-usap. So parang okay na. But there are two sectors sa Mindanao na hindi ko talaga kayang. Ang una-una, because I do not want to talk to the Abusaya. Masyado silang brutal but outright criminals na no compaction about human life. Last time na yung bata, 17 years old. Sabi ko sa kanya, you know, we used to be friends, but nawala na ako ng believe sa inyo. Pati yung mga ganon, bata, makidnap niya. Masyado namang sumubra ka ro sa arte. And if you're just there to show to us how the ISIS really works that way, well, remember that it takes two to a tango. And what you can do, I can do better 10 times. I can even eat you alive. Bigyan mo na ako as in pagsuka, kikilawin talaga. I mean, what's the point of killing? So,
itong isa are the scholars and the militants. They are now called militants. Wala na yung mga Maote. There's a Maote group in Central Mindanao, in Lanao, at iba pa. So, nag-usap kami minsan. You know, my lola is a Maranao. Ang lolo ko Chinese. But my father is Bisaya, Cebu. But I've never lived in Cebu. But if you ask me my lineage, I tell you that I am a Bisaya. Because we take our ancestry we count it from the father. Wala, hindi ako nakatanong. Pero but I can talk to them. Before the elections, I utusan ko yung, and my son, the vice mayor, married a Tausug lady and a Maranao mother. Tatay niya Tausug, isang Kola. So I kind of go in and out in the territories of Mindanao, both on the Moroland and yung sa ideological borders ng NPA, pati yung gobyerno. Nakausap ko, but this is the one that, sabi ko sa kanila, bakit? What's the use of? They are the militants that you can talk to. Ito yung mga tablik. Yung mahaba yung tapos nakaputi. Their equivalent would be like Knights of Columbus, Christianos. Yun yung sila, parang gano'n. Sabi nila, Mayor, for as long as the Americans are here, we will talk to you, but we will never negotiate for peace. Sabi ko nga na bakit tagal na to eh. And I remember sa ANC, si Lusada, si Tatad, si Orle, and those who pretend to know all, sinabi sa akin na, sabihin mo kay Mayor, 100 years na yun. Precisely. Tinanong ko sa kanila yun. Sa mga nila, why can't we just forget this? Mayor, it cannot say it's in the past. Ay, hindi ko ginamit yung 100 years. It's in the past. Really past. So, it's present perfect. Tapos yung pictures ng massacre na tinambak nila doon sa mga butas-butas. Nandoon lahat. Yung katorpihan ng Amerikano, sila ang kumuha noon. And the Filipinos got it from the archives of the Americans. Hindi man nila sununog. Maybe that's part of history or it's kanila yun. Ngayon, medyo sabi niya, by this statement said that we will not negotiate with you. Because we see the Americans, yung mga special forces na sa kampo ng mga natin, sa gobyerno. Hindi naman nakikita naman. Di sabi ko na, well, there will be a time we'll have to talk to the Americans to leave Mindanao. I never said Philippines. Smart thing siguro niya, which is really true. Problems in this country, this is to be our place, and we can't even talk freely without ostensibly offending the when I was mayor, I know that drugs was really a serious problem. Fiscal ako. Nakita ko yung mga kaso na dinismiss. Walang witness, dumating sa akin tawas. Tapos nagsisunungaling yung pulis kung anong-anong kalokohan. And even taking pictures of the wives and children coming out of school and from the malls. And even once kidnapping a teacher who was a wife of the policeman assigned, and NARCOM ang NARCOM section or unit ng PCINP. So So yung mga ganun, mga atrocities, alam ko yan. So when I became mayor, I said, leave my city. I cannot work with you around. I cannot improve the environment. We cannot progress if you are around kidnapping people, raping women, selling drugs, and crime is everywhere. If you do not leave my city, I will kill you. Sabi naman ni stop, doon sa kanina, stop making noise. No, I cannot stop. Because I will lose the momentum. And I cannot afford it because I am not the president. The momentum has to be there. And it will be there for 6 years until the last pusher is taken out on the streets. I cannot just play silent. Sabi na, that got you into trouble. Whose shit is it? Mine? This is my country. There is no law. Until now, presidente na ako, sinasabi, papatayin ko kayong lahat. There is no law at all which says I cannot threaten criminals either as mayor or president. Or if there's anyone who disagrees, give me the provision of law. But ko takot sabihin mo, putang ina mo, papatayin ka na, sinisira mo yung mga bata. Because if I do not interdict, alam naman ninyo, we are all mayor, just count a few years. If I do not interdict this problem now, I will have to compromise the next generation. Ang tatama nito, ito yung mga high school. But eventually, we will all die, we'll get old, at with 3 million flies all over the country, they are not concentrated in Pandacan or Tondo. They're everywhere. And so with 3 million, hindi ko binili lang yung akin eh. Hinayaan ko muna. That was the report of Santiago 3 years ago when he was the head of the PDEA. Hindi ko sinali yung akin because ang akin is still evolving nga. By the end of the year, it's going to hit to another million. Every day may nagsusurrender hanggang ngayon eh. At 700 was the last clear count. The newspaper stopped. Yung ABS lang, sige na, ito according to the analysis investigative journal. Sige. Pagdating ng panahon, if it will fail, maligaya kayong lahat dyan. But I have no intentions of failing. And they said that my mouth is, he is not a statesman. Whoever told you that I was applying to be a statesman? Ang pagkaalam ko, tumakbo ako ng presidente, ordinaryo lang ako na tao. Ako'y simple lang akong mayor. Dumating pagka dito sa, hindi ko nga, sa totoo lang, just to illustrate to you how this destiny plays out. Sino sa inyo nagsuporta sa akin? Si Juan or to? Juan. Ilan lang? 4, 5, 6. Wala akong barangay captain. Wala akong congressman. Wala akong pera. Si Amy pa ang nagbigay. Sabi niya, inutang daw niya. And si Amy supported me. I do not know if because of, my father was a cabinet member of President Marcos during the first term of his presidency. My father was one of the two who stood by Marcos in his darkest hours. Everybody was shifting to the liberal at the time, kay Diosdado Macapagal. And it was only Ibarle and my father who stood by Marcos. That is why when he won, my father was one of the cabinet members of Marcos. So yan ang ano namin, I cannot really disassociate my. And besides, yung may si Inday, yung mga Carpio taga Paway, may anak na ako na Lucano. Siyempre, mahirap na magano. Siyempre, dugo na yan. So may connect na talaga. Blood is blood. So yan ang balik tayo dito sa droga. Alam ninyo pag hindi ninyo ito nahinto. Tignan mo ang crime. It has dropped 50%. Maynila, bakit wala ko narinig kahapon nga may rape na bata, pinatay ang tatay? Wala nang kriminal. So what fueled the criminals to commit the crime? Drugs. Kaya mo, tahimik na. At sa DB Boulevard, maglakad ka, nobody's messing up with you. Pero sandali lang yan. Kaya pag gano'n yan parang ano yan, pag huminto ka dyan, humina ka, balik na naman yan. Because of money. Kaya yung mga mayors dyan, I'm not really referring to you, ha? Pero totoo, ito si yung Udikta, di drug lord, no? Itong si Albuera, sa totoo lang, naunahan niya ako. Talagang order ko sa kanya, patayin mo. As in, patayin mo. May isang akong team na sa army, sabi ko, patayin ninyo. Wherever he is. Baharap ng simbahan, patayin mo. Lalo na sa cemetery. Kasi mas malapit na lang, itulak na lang ang putang ina niya. Kasi man mayor ka tapos gano'n ang ginagawa mo. And you know why? Because early on, tinitignan ko ng statistics, whenever the presidency has given everything, notice that Bohol is a very passive place. Mga Bulano, ayaw ng gulo yan. Saan ka nakakita dito ng army na taga Bohol? Isa seldom. Ang contribution ng Bohol, I'm trying to be sarcastic about being funny. Ang Bohol, nakakontribute yan ng yung taga Bohol dito, either pare or madre. Yan ang sakit ng mga taga Bohol, pati yung, well, of course, ito a lesser extent mga Ilocano. Conservative. Karamihan niya mga pare Bohol. Ang problema, kung bakla rin ang gago. Ito sa Bohol, bakit maraming droga? Ang tataka ako kasi yung mga turista na doon pupunta, both domestic and pupuntahan doon. So prevailing ang Cebu ko. Saan ito galing? May pala, na zero din on kay Udikta. He was the number one. Pati yung Iloilo, karamihan ng mayor niyan. Sabi ko, sorry na lang. Alam mo, basang order ko, pag wala na, yung chief of police mo, yun ang utusan ko, patayin mo yung putang inang mayor mo. Kung pagdating sa ganun, I will do it. I will do it. Believe me, I will do it. Wala akong ano. Sabi ko nga, sabihin ko sa inyo, I'm seeking my honor, my life, and the presidency itself. Ako, may impeach. Wala naman akong gasto. So, iniwang yung posto, honor. How can I lose honor when I grieve for my country? Life? Lahat naman tayo na mamatay. Dadating yung panahon, I've always believed in destiny. Who'd ever believe also that they would win the presidency? Destiny. Wala ang pera. Sa totoo lang yung mga milyonaryo na tinanggihan ko ngayon dito sa Maynila malalaki, they're the ones. You'd know because they're offering to build the rehab houses. Yung tinanggihan ko, sabi ko, now, I'll give you an idea who they are. They're the ones eager to fund the rehab of houses all over. Ako talaga galit sa droga because sisirain ang bayan natin. Even right at the early start, ang unang mangyari niyan is the boy or the girl becomes irrational. Then the family would start to squabble kasi magnanakaw yan. Pero sa tatay, nanay, mag-squabble, and it would always result a dysfunctional family. Yan ang ayaw ko niyan. Kasi yung anak mo, pinaaral mo, only to realize pagdating ng panahon, sira na ang ulo. And yung mga mayaman, umaabot ng gastos milyon. And yet, pabalik in and out sa rehab centers with no lasting relief. Why? Because incessant or constant use of shabu for 4 months, depende to 1 year, will shrink the brain of a person. And when the brain has shrunk, rehabilitation cannot be a viable option. Yan ang ayaw ko. Ang problema nito, hindi tayo. Huwag na tayo magbulahan. Hindi tayo. Maski may anak kayo nandyan, kaya mo sinugastan, bigyan mo ng shabu araw-araw. Ang kawawa nito, the thousands of thousands, walang pera. Both dito, pati yung sa labas. Ang masakit sa labas, nagtatrabaho yung asawa sa Qatar, nagtatrabaho yung tatay sa Saudi Arabia, only to discover yung anak niya bungog na sa droga, or better still would be this of the subject of a crime. Ma-rape, masaksak. Sila yung kagagaw-gago kasi ano kaya ang nangyari na sa pamilya ko. Lahat ng pera niya binubuhos dito. Tapos ganunin mo lang ang sakripisyo ng tao. Por Diyos, ang putang ina mo, papatayin talaga kita. Believe me. Wala man akong kaso ako. Sino maghuli sa akin? May immunity ako. Alam ninyo yan. Totoo. Kasi yung abogado at naman ngayon yung polis. Sabi ko sa polis, sige kayo, go ahead. Kill. O tapos, akong polis, ako ang bahala sa iputong. Sige, basta trabaho. My orders are, go out and arrest them, and if they do not surrender and present a violent resistance, and if you feel that that resistance would endanger your life, would jeopardize your being, kill him. Period. Wala na. Nga ang utos ko. Yan si Albuera, surety siya. Hindi ako nagbibiro ha. Kaya puro tayo mayor dito eh. I mean, may mayor lang din ako. Yung presidency, wala na. Arte na lang yan sa buhay ko. Matrabaho yan. Wala pang... Kaya sige, ito yung kandidato namin sa presidential. Ay, gago ka. Kung gusto mag-mayor, gago ka. Ang presidente. Gawain ko lang ng clerk araw-araw. Pag-uwi ko ngayon, I have 2 other functions to attend. Pag-uwi ko yung folders na yan. Department of Affairs, Justice Department, sa IASA, sa DICT, sa Education. And I have to review it page for page and I have to place marginal notes. Hindi ka naman gago mag-marginal note. Kaya pareha kay Arroyo nag-marginal note na corruption na tuloy. Hindi ba yung intelligence niya? Sabi, okay. Ano pa naman niya sabi mo? Okay. Pagka may pirma na yung ano dyan, pirma ilang anong section, from what department. Okay. So, okay, basahin mo muna. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, matulog ako. Pinakamadala, siya, may alas 3, alas 4, alas 5. Tapos pagka alauna, gisingin ako ng... Sila? Sir, bihis na sir. Yan. Ngayon, kung gusto mong pamira, di tawagin mo yung mga department secretary mo, ano ba kapagpirahan? Kaya na lang ang gusto mo, Presidente, magkapira. Kaya ako noon, uwi ako sa gabi, bards eh. Si Presidente Aquino, hindi man nagbabards, doon umiikot siya. Alam siguro niyang gibutasan yung bards na dati. Ako madali eh. 3 minutes nandoon ka na, bakit kayo ikot doon sa... Pagdating doon, ako lang mag-isa. Wala man akong asawa nandoon man sa Davao. Wala naman rin na magsama sa akin. Magligaw ako, wala naman magsagot sa akin. Matanda na. 71, magligaw ka ba? Pera lang gusto niya. Bakit? Gusto niya katawan mo? Anong maibigay ng katawan mo sa kanya? May timer ka ba? Dali ha. Pagdating sa sinong nandyan? Sir, si ano? Sige. Pag landing mo sa bird, sir, Bisaya man, manihapon ka na. Maghaponan mo. Di, ayna. Bayagra ka kay... Pagbusog ka, walang bayagra eh. Wala totoo, di ba? Tatawa-tawa kayo dyan eh. Maghipokrito man kayo. Magbayagra ka. Magkita ka 30 minutes. Sabasa ka doon sa puro inaatake ka. Sige lang. Dadating yung araw ninyo. Akala ninyo ganun ka. Hindi ka kakain. Ang problema ngayon ganito. Nandiyan ka na. Posisyon. Laro ka na. Ito, hindi ito bullet train ng Japan, ha? Ito sa edad namin, ito western train ito ng mga cowboy noon, pati Indian. Chug, 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 chug. Tapos mabasa mo doon, magkabasa ka sa briefer. Araw-araw yan eh. Every minute. 14 soldiers killed in class in... Ayun na. May bakukang nang pumasok doon eh. Mga chug, chug, chug. Pag naisip mo ulit yan, chug, chug, chug. Chug, chug. Wala na. Ito lang train na ito sa buong mundo na marunong mag-atras sa terminal. Pagpasok sa terminal, i-start mo, ayaw na talaga anak ka ng puta. Tingnan ka lang sa... bakit? Tulog ka na lang. Tulog ka na. trabaho na lang ako. Yan ang, kung presidente ka, ako pabalikin ako. Kasarap ng buhay ko, Mayor. Si Mayor, nasa Maynila. Nandito si Mayor, nandito raw. Umuwi na sa Davao. Gano'n ba style yun? Itong ano ko sa, hayalan ninyo ako. You know, the Americans, it's a truism that people judge best when they condemn. Ito mga, pakahiporto itong kaputang inan to. Along the Mexican border, American border, there's the drug war there going on. So far, 60,000 have died. Kapitbahay nila yan, ha? Itong akin, pinakialaman to because actually ganito yan. This started, kaibigan ko na yung as a political garbage issue sa Davao. Totoo talagang yung mayari ako. Pero yung karamihan dyan talagang away. Sa footage pa ng ABS nung bago pa ako may banatan kami doon na talagang pati yung ginawa ng isyu ng mga babae na yung si Pugoy, yung pinatay ko lahat. Nasabi ko mabuti pa itong mga putang ina to na unahan pa ang mayor. Totoo yun, sinabi ko yun. But hindi na out of, para bang inismall ko yung kakalalag. To derogate the manhood. Putang inang magkago kapangit nito, nakatikim pa ng. Totoo yun nasabi ko. Ba't nang ginakumpile nila, pati yung pinatay ko? Doon sa Davao noon, maldito kasi itong Nograles. Basta may patay doon, pag walang suspect, ito dito ngayon. Pag may nakita niya nakahapla, extrajudicial. Puto extrajudicial, ginamit ni Nograles yun. And yet, he never won an election. Kaya inday o sa akin. I never lost an election actually. Until naging presidente. Nung hindi ito umuubra ng Davao. Kasi ang tao nakikita nila. Sino ba naman gusto na magulo na sila? Sino ba man? Ito nga. Ngayon nung election, you would notice that the particular extrajudicial killing was never an issue against me. Not even during the debates. But ang rating, bigla na akong tumaas, diretso-diretso na. Kinarga nito na Trillanes, pati yung lahat ng basura. Ang inquirer, tiga-printura rin ng basura, lahat sila. Ang ABS-CBN2, pinarga nila lahat yan. I can tell this because I have the records to show you if you want. Kaya pwede ako manginsulto ng tao. Hindi nila ginamit ito till it was late. Kung ano-anong basura. Tapos ngayon, sinakyan itong mga NGOs, mga yung may mga funding sa labas, mga grant, just to justify also their being there. Tapos sinakyan ng mga ugok na Amerikano. Tapos ang problema nito, pati yung State Department, si Obama, pati yung... Well, even then, assuming it to be true, we are a member of the United Nations. It would be far different if I remain to be a mayor. Kasi lang yan eh. But ako presidente, I carry the Republic of the Philippines. Now, if you start hitting me like this, mapapahiya yung Pilipino na salo, kayo pala, mga murderer yung presidente ninyo. There is a international forum. You bring it there, have it referred to the Human Rights Commission, then send the rapporteur to investigate and make a report, then go back to the body and then magdaldal ka muna doon. That is the proper way. How are we supposed na membro tayo tapos ganunin mo? Kaya ako nagsabi ko, naglaban ako. Because when you are already at the receiving end of an uncontrollable rush of whatever, kung ano yan, mababaong ka, the only way out is to insult. That was my retaliation to them. Sinabi ko, mga putang ina ninyo, tignan mo talaga itong NGO ng Manila. What is the connotation, the usual connotation sa atin ng putang ina? No? Son of a bitch. Or others would say it's salamagan. Ang nilagay nila, the best of the son of a whore. Kita mo, whore is not usually being used. But when you judge the best way is people judge best when they condemn. So they use the word. Ito namang mga Amerikano, pagkabobo naman, alam nila na I am a midterm president. That when I entered the presidency, there was already no money. Ang naabutan ko, MOOE lang. Towards the end of the day, wala akong capital outlay, kaya ako lang maitulong sa inyo, kaya ako nagatago. Hindi sabihin na ayaw ko kayong makuha. Kasi meron man talaga ilambing yan. As of now, next year, mayroon na tayo, so I have more than 1 trillion to distribute. And it will be distributed equally. Wala yung politika. Gusto kong, ilan lang rin ang pagbigyan ko sa politika? 1, 2, 3, nanalo ako sa Aimee. Nanalo ako sa Lanao. Ay kasi, siyempre, pinsang mga milip na doon lahat. Tingnan mo ang pagpasok ka ng Lanao, Empire of Duterte. Tanggalin mo nga yan. Pagkakurunin ninyo dito. Nanalo ako sa... Nandito ba siya? Nandito siguro siya. Wala. Kasi ano nga. Nanalo. Bumaliktad ang gagaya. Iniwan si Ruhas. Kasi hindi man niya love si Ruhas. Ako man. Ito yan ano pa chismisin mo. But I won heavily sa Mindanao and Visayas. Dito sa iba, mga lang sa Luzon, talo ako pero kukunti-kunti lang. Kaya umabot ng milyon ang... But I won heavily sa Mindanao. So, balik tayo. Ako galit sa kanila. Alam mo yung kabastusan ng Amerikano? Sige, kasi ako parinig ng China. Kasi ano ang gusto ninyo? Here is the arbitral judgment that we are entitled to the entitlements. It's not a territorial thing. 12 miles lang yan eh, that's it. Yung 200 miles, parang fish pond yan. Philippines, ito yung fish pond mo. Kanya-kanya tayong fish pond. Ito pinag-awayan dito yung fish pond. Yung mga tilapia sa loob, pati yung kung may oil dyan. This is not territorial. So you want, right. But what do you want? There are two ways of doing it. You seize it forcefully, or we talk. Mamili kayo dyan. Kung gusto nyo nigira, okay lang. Ang problema, manalo ba tayo? And where will be the battleground? Sa Sibijing? Sa Harbin? Sa Xiamen? Palawan? Kumagaw pang Palawan, naloko na. Sabihin mo, Amerika, paniwala ka dyan sa Amerikano. They will not fight to die for us. Wala tayong nagikap. Tanungin ninyo yung mga military. Ano naman dyan sila? Yung war games. Tanungin mo yan silang military. Sila lang ang natututo dyan using our soldiers. Because yung equipment nila, pati equipment natin, there is no compatibility. Hindi magkasya. So ipahiram lang siya during the war game, hindi compatible yan, pagkatapos kunin nila. Ganoon ang Amerikano, magtanong kayo ng... Wala naman tayong makuha dyan sa kanila. Sabi ko, until now, sabi ko, may isa pa dito mga smart elect. Siguro na yung F-50 made in South Korea. Correct. But that is really made in America. Components lang, it was there, it was assembled there. Kasi doon ginamit outsourcing, pareho ng Adidas. Makina-makina na yung gastos nila doon, mahal yan, pero pag inisip nila, the actual assembly doon sa Korea. Made in America yan, that's American technology. Tingnan mo, nagbili tayo ng dalawa. Gusto natin bumili ng mga missile, yung and even the 50 caliber mechanism, ayaw nilang ibigay. Sabi mo, totoo sa yung Amerikano. Buhusang na tubig. I will pour water on his head if he lies to me. Kaya ako, hindi ako nawala na ako ng believe sa mga gago na yan. Hindi ako believe sa kanila. Kaya sabi ko, dito na ako dinadaan sa human rights. You cannot stop me. It is my sacred duty, although it may sound a shit to you, it is my sacred duty to keep the integrity of this republic and the people healthy. Because yung shabu na yan po, mabuti kayo, mga mayaman man kayo, you can always pay for the rehab. Ang rehab is always a social and health issue. Kasi bayaranan yan sa ospital, medicine. Social issue, a law and order issue, a health issue. Kaya kayo mga Morocano, huwag kayong Aywan ko ang Pilipinong ordinaryo, pero ako malayo na ako sa inyo. Ayaw niyong pabili ng armas, punta ako ng Russia. Pinapunta ko yung mga general sa Russia. Sabi ng mga Russian, do not worry. Sige, wala ka tayong mga armas eh. We have everything you need. We will give it to you. O di ba ito pang hintay diyan sa ang China naman. Punta ka lang dito, magpirma ka lang, dadating lahat yan. Oo, totoo, tingnan mo. Sama tayo lahat para Amerikano magpakain dyan ng usap kayo. Tubig, juice, China. Ano pa lang yan, snacks pala yan, laureate na yan. They're so generous even with food. Ako, nawala na ako ng respeto sa Amerika. Nawala na ako ng respeto sa... Instead of helping us, knowing fully well that alam nila because they have a government similar as ours. Alam nila na yung bottoms up, na bottoms up talaga yun. So sabi ng iba, Duterte, why does he have to kill people? Why don't they just go to the rehab? Easily said than done. Where do I get the money? So I get the money from all departments, give it to this health department. Pati yung education ng kayasay kunin ko kang tugade just to build the rehab. So it will be just like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Alam nila yan, may gobyerno sila. Instead of helping us, ang unang tumira itong State Department. So, you can go to hell. Mr. Obama, you can go to hell. You better choose purgatory. Puno na sa impyerno. Bakit ako matakot sa inyo? Pati tuloy yung nadala. Because kasi sabi nila, yan si Duterte, Hitler yan eh. Maraming pinatay. Di ako rin. Bagay, it was really a fupa. It was a classic fupa. Sabi, o sige, si Hitler na lang ako. Pinatay ni Hitler nga. Kayo, clear man niya ko. Patayin ko, ano patayin ko? Ang mga durugista. I was not making any comparison. I was stressing a point there. Anyway, I apologize for it. And I apologize again. It was not politically, socially correct of me to say that. And if I ruffled the feathers of the Jewish community, may I say I'm sorry. That was just part of the mental and sometimes kasi ito ayong sumunod ito. No? There are times if you talk too much and for too long, ang connectives ng nauna ito. Yung iba naman, ito na lang ang serviceable. Why is the tongue so valuable? It takes care of your hunger, sexual, and food. Well, ito lang ang masabi ko sa inyo. Kaya ako talaga galit. Never man by mouth. Pare-pareho man tayo. I never aspired to be a statesman yung hindi to alam Marcos ha. I mean my countrymen. Wala yan. Hoy mga putang ina ninyo. Baski doon sa Congress noon sa UTK paggiling ko. Kayo? Wala mo kayo nagsuporta sa akin, isa dito. Kanya-kanyang panahon. Tao naman. Maybe I have yet to show the best of my being. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa. Aywan ko, baka hindi magdating. Sorry na lang. Pero at least dumaan ako ng pagkamatay mayor. Ako sa totoo lang, nagkamali lang ang Panginoong Diyos. Sa totoo lang, ang ugali ko talaga, pang mayor lang. Pang mayor lang ako. Yung pumalakpak, kasi hindi man sila maging presidente rin talaga. If I identify myself with them, so okay na. Well, ganun talaga. This is not a self-derogation. I do not want to demean myself, pero ang ugali ko talaga, pang mayor lang. I am not ready for the big league. Sabi ko nga, sila kasi itong bata ninyo, si Rojas, si Wharton. Sabi ko, anong Wharton? Pagtingin ko doon, Watson pala, butan. Ngayon, galit pa sa akin. Yung pa siguro yung gumagastos ngayon ng atake ko. Galit. Siya kung ang may galit. Pero ayaw ko na makipag-away. I think I told him sa debate, takot ka lang mamatay kasi mayaman ka. Parang totoo naman. Tayo, mamatay tayo. Kayo dyan, okay na ba kayo? Ako wala ba? Bagay, pero good na ako sa buhay ko. Good na ako. Kasi walang politika to. Everybody can, pag may problema kayo, sabihin ko sa inyo totoo, pag may pera pa, maghati-hati ko na ito. Ito yung itong naiwan. Pero yung ibang problema ninyo, katulong ako. Demanda kayo ng isang asawa mo, nakaproblema ka dito sa isa, o yung asawa mo, gobernador, tapos yung girlfriend mo, mayor, ikaw congressman, marami yan. Putang ina niyo, maniwala kayo, marami yan. Anak na mo. Ang qualification to be mayor or governor, first, must be Filipino citizen, must be 25 or 35 years old, must at least be a mistress, a current mistress of... Yun, marami yan dito, political contemporary times atin. Yan. Siya congressman, yung isa mayor, yung... Kaya maraming mga ano dito ngayon, mga mayor na gobernador, kagaganda. Maniwala ka sa akin, umiikot ako. Kaya magsabi, Mayor, ma'am, ako yung mayor ng mga taong munisipyo. Tapos yun ako, Franjunic Clan. Ganun ba, ma'am? Ang sunod ko, basta sabihin niya, may magbulong, usually ang DILG, sir, yung representante ng DILG, magbulong mo niyan. Sir, yan yung mistress niya na. Kaya ako makita ko yung kalaban, siyadong immoral naman yung setup niya dito. Patayin mo yung babae niya. Kabit lang pala yung puta, pamir-mayor. Pero pagdating ko sa misis, maghatid minsan sa, ma'am, alis na kami. Ma'am, pag nabiyuda ka, ma'am, paalamin mo ako, ha? Ganyan naman laro ng buhay. Well, anyway, I still have 3 events to go. I'm happy to have met you. At least I have expressed my anger. At bakit ganito? And the way that I behave, because I do not. For the life of me, I'll never. Mas mabuti pa magluhod ako sa mga King o Brunei o Thailand. Huwag mo akong paluhurin sa Amerika. Never. Ayoko talaga. You can do your worst, actually. Mas ako nakaposta dyan. My job, my life, and the presidency itself. Kung hanggang 3 taon lang ako, so be it. Destiny yan nandyan na yan, hindi mo na pagka yan ang landing mo dyan talaga. Sino mag-abot ka ng presidente? But, kung sabihin ako, paabot ka dyan pero hanggang dito ka lang, ngay kahirap. So, hanggang dyan na tayo. But remember, ako ang sinabi ko ito sa military para malaman niyo, pati sa pulis. Ako galing ako noon sa wounded na personnel dyan sa Bonifacio. Sabi ko sa kanila, if I do not last long, I travel umuwi ako noon, sa commercial, baski anong aeroplano, baski yung nag-spray, basta magpunta ng Davao, sakyan ko yan. Basta makauwi lang. Pero if I do not make it sa aking presidency, or if the problem would outlast me, remember, mahirap itong laban na ito. Because narco-politics has set in. The reason why I do not want an election, because narco money will be used to finance the candidacies of so many candidates yan. At pag yan ang nanalo, whether you like it or not, he will its power, he will use it. At yung nasanay na maraming pera, hindi na atras yan. But pag hindi kayo nagbantay, you will be facing a candidate marked by narco politics. Lots of money. Nothing is really asked of you except that you just... Ako na ang bahala. Na sinabi ko sa police, hear it kayo. Just do your duty. I said, arrest them and overcome the resistance. But if you find yourself in danger of losing your life, shoot them. That has always been my order. Now, ako, so there is no law at all which is a governor and a mayor cannot threaten criminal. What kind of law is that na takutin mong criminal, ikaw pa makulong? Gagong babatas yan. Ngayon, what is my guarantee to the police? Saan ko man ito mo? Sige ako ba sa kalaban mo, ombudsman, mayroon pang human rights, ang police mayroon pang RD's office, yung regional command, pa-imbestigahin ka. Eureka. Pardon. Go do your duty in accordance with my order, lawful. Pagkapatay ka, idemanda ka. Pagdating ng supine, balik mo sa akin. Yan, fill up your name there. Resign dyan. Pardon. Abogado man tayo. It does not even say you're allowed to pardon 5 persons or 10 persons. The President can grant pardon, absolute or conditional, or may grant amnesty with the concurrence of Congress. Period. Sige. Kulungin mo. Pardon lahat yan. O sabi ko, huwag kayong matakot. Ako ang bahala nga eh. Sige, fight kayo. Kaya ang polis. Ngayon, bakit ang polis ngayon? Kasi hindi na natatakot. I tell you, yung mga yung may droga, paranoid dyan, may mga armas yan. Invariably, they carry because the first thing that afflicts them is paranoia. Sige yan sila tingin gano'n na may humahabol sa... Kita mo sa nahuli sa mga polis, para siyang hinihabol ng demonyo. Magdala talaga ng armas yan. Kaya, bakit ngayon? Because ngayon, nagtatrabaho ang polis. Noon kasi takot, pag nasuspend, at that day, wala ng sweldo, wala ng pagkain ang pamilya. Now, what do I do in that? What was I doing in Davao? Pagka na-suspend ang polis, ako ang magbigay ng sweldo sa intelligence fund. I provide a lawyer, take home pay niya, binibigay ko. At saka yung pamilya niya, sigurado. May sweldo siya baski suspended. Kaya ang polis sa Davao, pag sinabi ko magtrabaho, katrabaho. Kita mo ngayon, ang nagdala taga Davao. So he's telling the police, ganun ang style ni Duterte. You just follow him and you're safe. Pero no. Kasi kung hindi ko ganunin, hindi magtrabaho yung polis. Pagdating ng human rights, so kawawa ang polis. Pagdating ng Congress doon, huwag kayong magtakot. Ayaw na niyo magsalita, sabihin na niyo. Sir, wala kaming, tinatamad kami magsalita. Kung gusto ninyo, sabihin mo lang. Pagod ako, sir, ayaw ko magsalita. Tapos. Pero hindi ka na mapilit ng Congress dyan. Your Honor, I would like to invoke the right to remain silent. Period. Wala ng congressman, walang senado, walang pagkatanong sa iyo. If you use that and nothing can be inferred against that. Hindi kaya, silence means consent is not applicable in a constitutional rule. Kung sabi mo, ayaw magsalita, gano'n. You cannot infer that because there is no adverse inference that you can make if a person invokes the right to remain silent. Konstitusyon yan. Yan naman ang laban mo. Shut up pa. Pagdating ng human rights, ayaw ko. Pagdating ng ombudsman, ayaw ko. Pagdating ng Congress, ayaw ko. Tinatamad kami magsalita. Hindi period. I am invoking the right to remain silent, sir. I will not talk. Wala na. Wala na iba na. Dismiss na. Ibig sabihin, uwi na tayo. Andiyan man si Edo. Ito yung panahon, ito yung pinakagwapo sa San Beda. Nakatatlo ito. Sa Sentro Escolar siguro, kay kapitbahay man, nakadalawa. Sa Holy Spirit, isa. Mga Mayor, Gobernador, maraming salamat po at there's anything that I can do for you. I'm not into politics, you know. Kita ka, wala akong, I do not travel to, because, wala no, one shot na naman ako. I will never come back this way again. So I would just assure that we work together. I'm sounding off the alarm regarding drugs. Please do something about it. Ngayon, kung sabihin ninyo, hindi nyo kaya, huwag kayong mag-iya. Mayor, hindi ko ugali yung violenting pamamaraan. Kasi, tumabi ka lang dyan. Ako na mismo. Marami yung mga ganda dyan doon sa inyo. Para makati. Gano'n lang. I'll do it for you. Ako, I do not want to interfere. I do not want to... Yung may naiwan dyan, wala na. I think that what I would do is just to send it to the Supreme Court for the judges. I'll send it to the police yung kanila. Kasi I create so many whirlwinds. Pag magulo masyado. It's not only one. Marami yan Barangay captain pati police. Pero ito mga police, putang ina kayo, sinabi ko sa huwag niyo kung lukuhin. Mauna talaga kayo. Sa Davao, lahat ng police pumasok sa droga, pinatay ko talaga. Lahat na nag-kidnap ng pinatay ko. Pero sabi ni Duterte doon sa mga putang ina, istorya ba lang yan? Madiwala pala kayo.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this point, we will now be moving on to the next segment of our program, the photo opportunity. You may take your seat. While we are setting up the stage, may we request all governors to start lining up on the right side of our ballroom. All governors,
bayan ko sa magnanakaw na tao. Madilim na kahapon, ikaw ang mag-aahon.
Calling on our governors.
Sa piling mo,
they are already entering our stage area to commence the photo opportunity with the President, together with the rest of our guests for today.
tayo na Pilipinas, tayo na magbago. Hawat kamay tayo.
Hinikayat ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang kooperasyon ng local government units sa tagumpay ng kampanya kontra illegal na droga pati ng pagtamo ng tunay na kapayapaan sa Mindanao. Sinabi ito ng Pangulo sa Sulong Pilipinas consultation sa LGU sa Peace and Order and Social Development dito sa Duset Hotel sa Makati City. Ayon sa Pangulo, nakapag-usap na sila ni Founding Chairman ng Miswari na sa sunod na sila magpupulong sa dating plano na papuntahin si Miswari sa Davao City. Iginit pa rin ito na wala siyang plano makapag-usap sa bandidong Abu Sayyaf Group. Pero ang pinakamatinding problema niya ng bansa ay ang operasyon ng illegal na droga. Hindi niya siya makakapagtrabaho ng mahusay kung LGUs na sangkot sa droga at maging sa paligid ng LGUs na may sangkot sa droga at maging sa kidnapping. Nagsalita ang Pangulo sa harap na rin na ipinakita ang listahan nito na umano'y 1,000 personalidad sangkot sa droga na kinabibilangan ng huwes, mayors, governors at barangay leaders. Payo pa nito sa mga local leaders, dapat niya maintindihan ng mga ito ang masasamang epekto ng illegal na droga sa kanilang constituents kung saan nasisira ang mga buhay o kinabukasan. Higit pa nito ang usupin ng narco-politics ang magiging concern ng LGU, kaya hindi pinatuloy ang SK at barangay elections at kailangan ang mahigpit na pagbabantay. Hindi rin anya siya patitinag sa bantang impeachment basta ginagawa niya ang tama na hindi makompromiso ang kinabukasan ng susunod na henerasyon. Wala rin anyang natitirang pondo na sa 2016 budget, kaya sa susunod na taon ng national budget na anya siya magkakaloob ng kaukulang equal o patas na assistance fund. Binigyan din ng Pangulo ang pagpapalakas ng kooperasyon sa iba pang mga bansa. Nauna na sinabi ng Pangulo ang posibleng pagpapahinto sa war games sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at Amerika dahil wala namang anyang benepisyo na kukuha ang bansa dito. Sa bandang huli, muling pinayuhan ng Pangulo ang mga local leaders na gawin ang kanilang trabaho, makipagtulungan sa gobyerno at tiyakin ang kaligtasan ng kanilang mga komunidad. Sa kasalukuyan ay nag-grant ang Pangulo ng photo opportunity sa mga LGU, sa mga chief executive, local executives dito sa Dusit Hotel. At yan ang mga kaganapan dito pa rin sa Dusit Hotel, kaugnay pa rin ng consultations ng LGUs na tinawag na Sulong Pilipinas na naglalayong ang palakasin ang tulungan ng LGU sa government para sa pagkamo ng peace and order kasabay ng pagsusulong ng social development. Para sa PTV, ako po si Rocky Ignacio, nag-uulat mula sa Dusit Hotel.
Prosecutor Bensoda, posibleng makasuhan sa International Criminal Court ang sinumang sangkot sa mga karahasan, kabilang na ang pangungonsinti at pang-iingganyo nito sa anumang paraan. Dahil bahagi raw ang Pilipinas sa jurisdiction ng ICC, may kapangyarihan daw ang ICC na litisin ng mga krimen sa ating bansa, gaya ng genocide, crimes against humanity at war crimes. Patuloy raw na magbabantay ang ICC sa mga pangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. Sa pahayag na ito ng ICC, tila nakahanap ng kakampi si Senadora Laila de Lima sa pag-iimbestiga sa umano'y extrajudicial killing sa bansa.
The ICC can always assume jurisdiction if they find enough or sufficient basis to do so. And once it happens, presidential immunity does not apply.
Ang kailangan lang, ani de Lima, patunayang gobyerno ang utak ng halos 4,000 ng napapatay sa kampanya kontra droga.
Okay, ayaw nila ng state sponsor, di state-inspired. Pareho rin yun eh. Look at all the pronouncements, the bold pronouncements of the president, of his lieutenants like De La Rosa. And then, you know, yung mga reports about policemen themselves doing the killings.
Giit ng Malacanang, handa si Pangulong Duterte na harapin ang anumang investigasyon tungkol sa kampanya kontra droga. Hindi rin daw pinahihintulutan ng gobyerno ang mga patayan kontra droga. Marami rin daw sa mga nasawi ay napatay sa legal na police operation na iniimbestigahan ngayon. Sabi rin ni Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Charles Jose, hindi kinukonsinti ng gobyerno ang extrajudicial killings. Sa pagdalo kagabi ni Pangulong Duterte sa business conference ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, muling inimbitahan ng Pangulo na mag-imbestiga ang mga pumupuna sa kanyang kampanya kontra droga. Pero pagtitiyak ng Pangulo, mapapahiya ang mga kinatawan ng mga ito, oras na nakaharap na niya.
They cannot be brighter than me. Maniwala kayo.
Ikutin kita. You know, I said, I've been a trial lawyer for 8 years. I will play with you in public. I will ask 5 questions that will humiliate you. And I will ask 10 questions for you to agree with me. Bantayan ninyan, it would be an spectacle. You better watch it all. Maganda yan. Giit ng Pangulo, hindi polisiya ng gobyerno ang pumatay.
It was never the thing of the government at the outset yung patayan. You don't wrap around plastics all over the body. Why would the police do that? Why would you waste your time? You simply shoot him in the head once and that's it. Well, because that's for a form of torture. We do not do it. I will not also allow it.
Mark Salazar, nakatutok 24 oras.
Pansamantalang nakalaya ang nagpakilalang miyembro ng Davao del.
Salamat po. Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, Secretary Ramon Lopez, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mr. George Barcelon, Mr. Angelito Colonna, Ambassador Benedicto Yuico, Mr. Jose Maria Concepcion, participants of the 42nd Philippine Business Conference and Expo concluding ceremony. My fellow workers in government, my beloved countrymen, I do not prepare speeches.
Duterte, halos magkamukha lang yan kami. Kaya kami matalik magkaibigan. Kasi sometimes we descend to the level of hyperbole. Kung ba't sinusobrahan mo ang sinasabi mo para mas epektibo, mas nakaka-catch attention ng nakikinig, pero hindi naman literally true. So, I think itong mga accusations of a so-called death squad or other terrorist actuations, dapat may reklamo sila noon pa. Noon pa yun eh. Istorya na yan noon pa. Baka 10 taon na. Kaya, ba't hindi siya inimbestiga? Ba't hindi nila pinag-file ng mga ganong kaso? Pag sinasabi niyang napatay ko yung tao na yun, he might mean on his orders according to law. Because may mga police circulars yan on how you can kill at will, kill on sight, and so on. May mga regulasyon yan. Paano patayin ang tao na ayon sa batas? Yan ang siguro ang ibig niyang sabihin. Pero wala namang tao magsasabing, ako ang nagpatay nitong kay ganito at i-describe niya mismo ang tao. That would be an admission against interest, and he will need the full panoply of judicial defense. So, I think it can be disregarded unless there is weighty evidence as hyperbole. One of those things that politicians sometimes say, sometimes in an exaggerated way, to catch the attention of the public.
So you personally don't believe, ma'am, that he's behind all these extrajudicial killings?
Unless there is evidence. I was a former judge, and I'm always careful to make a distinction between hyperbole, exaggerated way of talking, and a serious piece of evidence that's not necessarily just testimonial by testimony, or may even consist of hard evidence. So we all have to obey the rules of court, particularly the rules on evidence.
Last two questions, one from Mr. Rafi Timo, Williams.
Follow-up lang po dun sa question na rin. So amenable po kayo dun sa sinasabi ng CHR that DOJ should look into the allegations against Duterte?
Excuse me?
The CHR po is calling the DOJ na mag-investigate daw sa mga allegations. Are you amenable to that?
Well, all I can comment on, it's doing its job. It might even be overdoing its job, or it might be too late to do its job. Dahil itong mga puro-puro tungkol kay Mayor Duterte never materialized into anything, not even the filing of a complaint in court. So, the question there that remains in the minds of the supporters is, why were these accusations not taken seriously at that, more or less at the time when the alleged crimes were committed? Why only now that he has announced his candidacy for president? And by the way, now it becomes possibly an obstacle to his candidacy, because these are crimes against humanity, or these are crimes against human rights. So that is the first question in the mind of the vulture. Why is he being accused of crimes that appear to have happened decades ago, or at least several years ago? Even I, as a fellow presidential candidate, will ask these questions.
Samantala, mapapahiya raw sa publiko ang mga makakaharap ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na kinatawan ng mga bansa o grupong mag-iimbestiga sa kanyang kampanya kontra droga. At sa gitna nito, nakiisa na rin ang International Criminal Court sa mga nagsasabing nakakabahala na ang mga patayan sa bansa. At yan po ang tinutukan ni Mark Salazar.
Labis na ikinababahala ni International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda ang mga patayan kaugnay ng iligal na droga sa Pilipinas. Kaugnay daw ito ng ulat ng pagkakapatay sa mahigit 3,000 tao sa nakalipas na 3 buwan sa gitna ng kampanya kontra droga. Ang nakababahala pa niya, ang pahayag ng matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno na tila kumukonsinti pa sa ganitong mga pagpatay. Babala ni Prosecutor
and security, so pwede nyong ipadaan sa akin yung warrant of arrest at ako na ang magpapaabot sa kanya para hindi nyo na kailangan hanapin pa at wala ng untoward incident.
Interpretation, tinutulungan ko pa eh. Sinabi ko pa nga sa kanya doon sa loob ng refectory, cool ka na, kaya mo, huwag ka mag-iinit dahil ganyan talaga, mahirap talaga. Eh pagkatapos nung tinago naman yun, ako napaka-unfair naman. Una pa, hindi pa sabi ko pa nga eh, I think it's just an oversight. I think it's just an oversight. Hindi sinasadya. Pero nung nakita ko na talagang may mga testigo, tapos nung lumapit, ang nag-trigger sa akin, umalis yung testigo, samantalang may order, huwag kang aalis, dahil andito pa yung mga yan. Alam nyo aalis na yan bukas. Eh bakit umalis? Dahil nagkalabasan na meron pa ng kaso. Eh syempre, puputok na yan. You cannot help us all feel, si Lacson lang gusto niya, terminate na eh. Tigil na. Ito ko, ayoko. Ba't natin terminate to? Eh, sasabihin ng tao, tatago tayo. Eh, pero nung lumabas nga yung note na sabi nga, dinala because nako-compromise na yung security, eh dapat nagpaalam. Dapat nagpaalam. Kasi kung nagpaalam, at least magkakaalaman, di ba? At saka, andun ako sa oversight lang yan. Sige na, nasan ba yung kaso, pakita nyo. Eh no, pagka 1+1, naging 2 eh. Diba?
Pero sir, pwedeng mag-decide kayo, sir, na i-terminate na dahil din sa, sabihin nyo nga, sabi na ibang kasama nyo, you were taken for a ride. Pero sir, ito tungkol kay Matubato, kung nagsinungaling man siya, granted nagsinungaling, paano sir yung main reason para dito sa hearings, which is yung EJK ngayong...
Hindi siya ba Ang nagdala kay Matubato sila eh. Ang hinahabol ko, kita naman yun, palagi ko inuulit yung gagawin ng committee, di ba? Hindi naman yun ang hinahabol ko eh. Pero ang lumabas, Matubato was the end all and be all for their case. Nung mag-i-implode na si Matubato, lahat sinasabi, to my mind as a lawyer, hindi ko dadalhin yung Davao group here. Sasabihin lang na, wala kaming kinalaman dyan.
So paano yun? Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga yung EJK na nangyayari ngayon ang main purpose, kundi
nila.
Davao at Duterte.
Duterte pa rin ang target eh. Ako ay target ko, teka, magpaliwanag nga kayo. Dala ko papakita ko sa inyo. Bayan by bayan, ito ang pinatay dyan. Ikaw ang provincial director. General De La Rosa, anong ginagawa mo din sa provincial commander na ito? Hindi siya gumagawa ng kanyang trabaho. Di ba? Doon dapat tayo pupunta para matigil, para mahinahon ang tao. Kung hindi yun ang pakay natin, ba't tayo nag-iimbestiga?
So sa tingin niyo po, Senator, may ibang agenda talaga?
Ang agenda talaga si Duterte. Ang problema naman doon sa presidente natin, napipikon siya. Sinasagot niya lahat. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, nadadapa ka sa sarili mong espada, mahimik ka na, huwag ka na magsasalita, gawin mo lang yung trabaho para matapos tayo. Sigurado may magsusulsul dyan laban sa akin. Hindi ginagawa na senador yun. Meron na siya presidente ganito, no? Pero, mahal natin ang bansa eh. Kailangan sabihin natin dahil maraming issues sa foreign relations na napipigil siya. Mayroong mga issue na dapat natin pag-usapan.
Committee on Justice and Human Rights, this meeting is now in order and I will ask Senator Lacson to convene his own committee.
On the part of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, this hearing is hereby called to order.
Thank you, Mr. We call to order the hearing today on the Committee on Justice and Human Rights jointly with the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs after having suspended the hearing last 22nd September. This is a continuation of the resolutions and the privilege speeches made by several senators. There's a Senate Resolution number 9 by Senator Leila de Lima concerning the recent and rampant killings, extrajudicial killings, and summary executions, and to strengthen accountability of law enforcers. That's the highway upon which we are going to traverse in this investigation. At the same time, we have Senate Resolution number 151 by Senator Antonio Trillanes III on the alleged extrajudicial or summary killings purportedly committed by the Davao Death Squad, and in order to have the protection of people's basic human rights, and also in pursuance of the campaign against terrorism, drugs, and street crimes. Oh, the fourth. I'm sorry. You mean there are 4 of you? I stand corrected. Let the minutes reflect that Senator Antonio Trillanes is the 4th among several Antonio Trillaneses. In as much as I am told by
reason that they are preaching really what is historical and true is something which is hard to overcome.
Senator Antonio Trillanes accuses Senator Dick Gordon of covering up the role of the Duterte administration in the extrajudicial killings in its war against drugs. Trillanes says, quote, "Eventually the truth would come out, and when that day comes, Senator Gordon should be remembered as one of those who tried to cover it up." Gordon, also the Senate Justice Committee chairman, said the 6 hearings on extrajudicial killings failed to prove that President Rodrigo Duterte or the government sponsored the executions. Trillanes says, quote, "Senator Gordon cannot prove what he did not attempt to investigate in the first place." But Senator Panfilo Lacson says the probe on the Davao Death Squad killings may still be reopened if another witness can corroborate self-confessed hitman Edgar Matobato's testimony.
Interpretation, tinutulungan ko pa eh. Sinabi ko pa nga sa kanya doon sa loob ng refectory, cool ka na, kaya mo, huwag ka mag-iinit dahil ganyan talaga, mahirap talaga. Pagkatapos nung tinago naman yun, ako napaka-unfair naman. Una pa, hindi pa sabi ko pa nga eh, I think it's just an oversight. I think it's just an oversight. Hindi sinasadya. Pero nung nakita ko na talagang may mga testigo, tapos nung lumapit, ang nag-trigger sa akin, umalis yung testigo, Samantala may order, huwag kang aalis dahil andito pa yung mga yan. Alam nyo aalis na yan bukas. Eh bakit umalis dahil nagkalabasan na meron pa ng kaso? Eh syempre, puputok na yan. You cannot help us all feel. Si Lacson lang gusto niya, terminate na eh. Tigil na. Ito ayoko. Ba't natin terminate ito? Eh, sasabihin ng tao, tatago tayo. Eh, pero nung lumabas nga yung note na sabi nga, dinala because nako-compromise our security, eh dapat nagpaalam. Dapat nagpaalam. Kasi kung nagpaalam, at least magkakaalaman, di ba? At saka, andun ako sa oversight lang yan. Sige na, nasaan ba yung kaso, pakita nyo. Eh no, pagka 1 plus 1, naging 2 eh. Diba?
Pero sir, pwedeng mag-decide kayo, sir, na i-terminate na dahil dun sa, sabihin nyo nga, sabi ng ibang kasama nyo, you were taken for a ride. Pero sir, ito tungkol kay Matubato, kung nagsinungaling man siya, granted nagsinungaling, paano sir yung main reason para dito sa hearings, which is yung EJK ngayong...
Ang nagdala kay Matubato sila eh. Ang hinahabol ko, kita naman nyo, palagi ko inuulit yung gagawin ng committee, di ba? Hindi naman yun ang hinahabol ko eh. Pero ang lumabas, Matubato was the end all and be all for their case. Nung mag-i-implode na si Matubato, lahat sila sabi, to my mind as a lawyer, hindi ko dadalhin yung Davao group here. Sasabihin lang na, wala kaming kinalaman dyan.
So paano yun? Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga yung EJK na nangyayari na ng main purpose, kundi
nila.
Davao at Duterte.
Duterte pa rin ang target eh. Ako, ang target ko, abay, teka, magpaliwanag nga kayo. Dala ko papakita ko sa inyo. Bayan by bayan, ito ang pinatay dyan. Ikaw ang provincial director. General De La Rosa, anong ginagawa mo din sa provincial commander na ito? Hindi siya gumagawa ng kanyang trabaho. Di ba? Doon dapat tayo pupunta para matigil, para mahinahon ang tao. Kung hindi yun ang pakay natin, ba't tayo nag-iimbestiga?
So sa tingin niyo po, Senator, may ibang agenda talaga?
Ang agenda talaga si Duterte. Ang problema naman doon sa presidente natin, napipikon siya. Sinasagot niya lahat. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, nadadapa ka sa sarili mong espada, mahimik ka na, huwag ka na magsasalita. Gawin mo lang yung trabaho para matapos tayo. Sigurado may magsusulsul dyan laban sa akin. Hindi ginagawa na senador yun. Meron na siya presidente ganito, no? Pero mahal natin ang bansa eh. Kailangan sabihin natin dahil maraming issues sa foreign relations na napipigil siya. Mayroong mga issue na dapat natin pag-usapan.
Handa raw i-turn over ni Senator Antonio Trillanes IV si Edgar Matubato sa PNP oras na matanggap nila ang arrest warrant para sa testigo. Naglabas na kasi ng warrant of arrest ang korte sa Davao City matapos hindi makadalo sa arraignment si Matubato para sa kaso niyang illegal possession of firearms. Pakiusap ni Trillanes, hayaan siyang mismo ang personal na magdala kay Matubato sa Camp Crame para i-turn over kay PNP Director General Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Yan ay para maiwasan daw ang gulo na pwedeng mangyari kung aarestuhin pa si Matubato. Dagdag pa ni Trillanes, walang intensyon na hindi dumalo sa arraignment si Matubato. Hindi raw siya nakapunta dahil hindi niya alam na meron pala siyang arraignment. Kahit ang abogado niya, hindi raw ito alam. Handa rin daw si Trillanes na bayaran ang piyansa para kay Matubato. Sa ngayon ay si Trillanes ang nangangalaga at nagbibigay ng proteksyon kay Matubato na nagpakilalang hitman ng Dimanoy Davao Death Squad.
Ako ang naghahawak ng kanyang custody.
Would rather just go ahead with the environment. But from the judging of the crowd, apart from the campaign days, this is the biggest crowd so far that I have addressed. And what is really very pleasing is that all of you have money. Excuse me. I am not into the big league. I am just an ordinary Filipino residing somewhere in Mindanao. My city is Davao City, in the midst of a not so peaceful island. And we are doing our best really to make it business-friendly if we talk about money. Mindanao holds a great promise in agriculture. The problem is it is beset with the remnants of the rebellion of the yesteryears. There's still a great feeling of nationalism amongst the Muslim population. And there's always the hurt over the centuries, the injustice committed against the Moro people. So in terms of money and agriculture, we talked to Mindanao and we're trying our best really to come up with something. I have talked to the communists, and I would like to thank Norway. They are now in Oslo. The communists and the government panel are talking there, and I would like to thank the government of Norway for its good offices in these talks. I have talked to Murad, the leader of the MILF, one of the bigger factions in the secessionist movement. And despite the fact that the last time we were considering the BBL, Murad threatened to go to war if there is no BBL. By the grace of God, we were able to talk to him and said that you might want to postpone the rebellion, the war, because there is still enough time for us to talk about peace. And so with Nor Miswari of the MNLF, practically this is really the picture of what is in Mindanao and the rest of the country. I expect a successful talks with the Communist Party. And that is why the soldiers of the Republic are freed of the war fronts here vis-a-vis with the communists, the New People's Army. So I was able to move my troops to Mindanao, and that resulted really in a firefight until now, and also the reason why there was that blast in Davao City. It has always tit for tat for them, and because they are losing heavily because of the concentration of the troops that I have deployed from other areas. Wala nang NPA. At least there is no fighting right now. And because they are suffering heavy losses, ayun, there's always a time for retaliation and everything. But I said we are insisting, but this is really how it looks. I have talked to the major fronts. The problem is there is a sector in Mindanao which until now I cannot convince to talk to us. Why? They are the scholars, and scholars do not carry guns. There are a lot of them, and in some places in Mindanao, plenty. We cannot do anything punitive for the simple reason that they are into the religious activity. And in this country, freedom of religion to practice one is always sacred. It's embedded in the Constitution, and it goes for all religions. Now, there are a lot of them called the tabliks, and they're very good, and they're straightforward. And nothing is wrong with that if you trace history. They would be something like the Knights of Columbus for the Catholic Church. So ito yun sila, they go around preaching. And for the